Red hot comic book movie news, shooting up your butthole. The Weekly Planet, the Weekly Planet.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday, and with me, as always, is my co-host. Cheers, Mason.
Oh,
Nick Mason.
cheers.
Don't hit the microphone with
You
your
hit
drink.
the microphone. I learned it from you.
I'm safe, though. I'm allowed to do it. I trust me. I don't trust you.
Okay, I wouldn't trust me neither.
Mason, it's a big week for news, isn't it?
Absolutely it is.
Do you want me to rattle off some things we're going to be talking
Rattle off
about?
some things in news, please.
People might want to jump around to any particular point in the show. But before we do that, this is your very last opportunity, if you're hearing this as it goes out, to vote for us in the Australian Podcasting Awards. It goes out the night that this goes out, right?
Interesting, okay.
So get in early if you can.
Sneak under that wire.
No, it's very important. Look, I don't think we're going to win, and we're definitively not sending anybody. Claire's like, should I go to Sydney on Monday? And I'm like, don't go.
Oh, there would be announced, then we'd straight up have to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
I assume.
Huh. I'm busy. I can't.
Yeah, I don't want to go. So anyway, I'd love to win though.
Sure.
So if...
With absolute minimum amount of effort, absolutely.
Well, not minimum, Mason, maximum from everybody as a group.
Oh, I thought you meant from us.
Oh, from us, yes.
Yeah.
But, you know, a rising tide, all ships and whatever. And
absolutely.
a victory for us is a victory in a way for everybody, isn't it?
That's true. You can get out on the streets, you can rattle some
Flip a
cages and be
car.
like, I helped the Weekly Planet win this thing that
That's
ultimately
right.
is not important.
That's right. Exactly. So if you could, that
So
would
this
be
is a
good.
Wendy's. They would say to you.
That's a great joke.
In response, thank you. I just came up with that.
You should use it every day.
Australia used to have Wendy's, but I think it's a different kind of Wendy's.
It is. It's like, it's just ice cream, isn't it? It was just ice cream. Yeah, interesting.
But we also used to have hamburger Wendy's.
Hamburger Wendy's?
Yeah, it
was
was
it,
on
was it called Hamburger
It's called
Wendy's?
hamburger Wendy's.
Just the meat, Wendy's.
Yeah, that's right.
If you want ice cream, go to Ice Cream Wendy's.
You want a handful of burger patties? Here you go. Like the 80s. I went there once.
In the 80s?
Yeah.
I remember the 80s. I remember all the styrofoam packaging at McDonald's or whatever they used to do.
That's right.
All right, Mason. This is the news we're going to be running through. More Spider-Verse situation. Live action we're talking, which is the best kind of Spider-Man Sony situations, don't you think?
Yep, and definitely, 100%.
Definitely. Information on the new Alien.
Oh, wait, when you said Spider-Verse, did you mean...
Not the animated
Not
one.
Into the Spider-Verse.
No, the
not
SPUMM.
That. The SPUMM. Well, you should have said SPUMM. If you meant SPUMM, don't get my hopes up. Pictures Universe of Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
SPUMM.
Also, news of the new Alien movie in terms of casting. Steven Spielberg's next movie.
Steven Spielberg?
Steven Spielberg. He's got The Fabelmans,
That's
which is
right.
apparently very good, but
Yeah.
his next movie after that, which I thought you'd be interested in.
Bit of casting news, maybe.
Maybe. The future of Batman, the death of Pirates of the Caribbean. A first look at Indiana Jones, Mason.
Uh-oh.
Then we're going to talk about whatever's happening in Deadpool 3, I think. Yes. The budget of Fast 10 is ballooning out of control. And then the budget of Black Adam, it seems, is not looking good for the future of Black Adam.
And of course, you know, now we know that if you want to watch a Fast and Furious movie, you don't have to go to the cinemas. You can just watch it in chunks on Twitter.
That's right.
So
that's what they're
great,
doing
'cause
for you.
Tokyo Drift this week was on Twitter.
It was trending big time. And James Gunn also teased a character that he might introduce. And then we're going to do, off the back of the passing of Kevin Conroy last week, we're going to be looking at a whole lot of just episodes and bits and pieces that he appeared in as, I was going to say as mostly Batman, but Batman.
Yes. Yes.
So just kind of our favourite moments and things and stuff that he has been in.
Moments, things, stuff.
Encompassing a bunch of stuff. We're obviously not going to look at literally everything, but just stuff that we're like, oh, I remember that. That was a good one, wasn't it?
That's right.
So,
A
yeah.
classic rambling remembrance.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to that. But
too.
let's kick things off, Mason.
Go on.
This is via Variety. Amazon is moving ahead with multiple live-action Spider Universe characters from the SPUMM. And they're going to start things with Silk Spider Society,
Okay,
developed
sure.
by the Walking Dead showrunner Angela Kang. And it's also going to be produced by Amy Pascal, of course, who's over at... Is she at Sony still? She's got the Spider-Man stuff, whatever she's doing, plus Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Okay, well, that's a good sign.
That's good news because they were heavily involved in the Spider-Verse movies. Now, this is what's happening is Cindy Moon is described as a Korean-American woman bitten by the... Do you know this?
Yes.
Bitten by the same spider.
Bit Peter Parker, yeah.
But she was imprisoned for decades, it would seem. Well, not decades. How old is Spider-Man?
25 to 30, maybe. Tough to say.
Let's say 7 years at the least.
She was imprisoned for spring break, the
Yes.
entire length of spring break.
That's crazy. So, and as she escapes imprisonment, she searches for her missing family to become the superhero known as Silk. I have not read a single Cindy Moon anything. I mean, this is start here is as good as any, I guess.
That's true.
I think there's going to be a bunch of these. I mean, it's interesting because Sony is one of the few movie studios or whatever brands that doesn't have its own streaming service
That's true for now.
yet. It's sort of, it almost got ahead of it with the PlayStation stuff, didn't
That's
it?
right. PlayStation Network, video, etc. Yeah.
Powers and such,
Ooh,
etc.
a fidget spinner. Don't mind if I do.
I've got the wheel though.
I'm going to take a fresh, different one.
A fresh and different one.
It looks like two earrings that you've accidentally stuck together here.
That's what has happened, yes.
Right. Well, I'm going to spend the rest of the podcast attempting to tear them apart.
I hope you do.
Thanks. Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. What were we saying? I can't remember.
Silk. Cindy Moon.
Yeah. So, remember because they did Powers, whatever,
They
and
did,
that was not great, was
Terrible.
it?
It was awful.
Yeah.
Awful stuff.
And they probably did some other things also. But it's interesting, like, if they've got, everybody's got a PlayStation at the moment, it seems. You wouldn't just throw on, like, a streaming service or whatever? Or just all the stuff that they own? What am I saying? Don't do that because then I have to buy another one.
Would they?
I mean, Amazon have infinite money, so they would sort of look good at the very least. Unlike Powers, which from your description looks terrible.
Awful. Maybe the story was good. The story.
Stories. If I wanted to read a story, Mason, I'd read a book, not look at a terrible show.
Right, but you wouldn't read a book.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Ah, sorry.
What are you doing?
Sorry, that was ludicrous of me.
What was your question, though, other than the book thing?
Do you think that like at this point, I kind of feel like maybe you're right that people would go, another streaming service. I don't want to, I can't, I don't want to, I can't afford another one, etc.
But I have Prime because of the boys and whatever.
Because I have Prime because of the boys. Or maybe they're like, look, a lot of our productions seem like straight to streaming in the first place, so we don't want to, or maybe just like.
You talking about Venom? Are you talking about Morbius?
I'm talking about Venom 2 and Morbius and
Venom 1.
Venom 1. And everything else they make. But that you don't want to really hammer home the point. You don't want their first review of Silk Spider Society to be like, yeah, this absolutely does belong on a streaming service.
Good decision.
Yeah, this is the perfect movie to watch while also on your phone.
I think it's a show. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this a show? This movie was weird that it ended, and I thought, how many more episodes of this are there? Oh, it's a movie.
I was at 47 minutes long. I don't get it. So there you go. Yeah. Anyway, let's move it along, Mason. This is from THR. So you know about this. There's going to be a Fede Alvarez alien movie, apparently. This is separate than the Noah. Who's the Noah guy who
Baumbach?
No, he did The Ark. No, he did the.
I see.
He did Legion.
Oh yeah, Noah Hawley.
Yes, that's right. He's working on an alien show, but this is a different movie directed by Fede Alvarez, who did Don't Breathe and the Evil Dead reboot from like 2013, which is maybe not a reboot or whatever. Fantastic movie, really good. Yeah. That one I've seen. So he's going to write and direct it. But Carly Spanny, she's from Mayor of Easttown and Pacific Rim Uprising. She's going to appear in the series, and there's speculation, and who knows whether she's going to be Newt, and that's where they're going to move forward from here.
Okay,
which would be cool if that was the case.
How do you think that's going to go? Do you think she'll be a clone of Newt?
No, they'll just be like 3 and 4 don't count.
Okay, right. Yes,
that's
most
what I
likely
think's going to happen. If this is that, and it doesn't have to be.
Yeah. Well, they might base it on that original Alien 3 script where she's still alive for a time or whatever that is, and
it was going to be really expensive because there was just all sorts of cityscapes involved and
maybe.
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, there is that comic. I tried to read it and I'm like, this is very dense, and I'm not that interested in this. I would have preferred like give me a summary. What
about some sort of 97-minute like live action, big budget cinematic experience? Would you have liked that more than a comic book?
Is it on streaming?
Yes.
Then yes, I would love that.
Okay, terrific. Yes, very good.
So presumably this will either go to, because it's 20th Century Fox or 20th Century Studios, which is owned by Disney, this will go to like Hulu and Disney Star or whatever.
Yeah, right.
But there you go. I think this was also off the back of like the new Predator movie, Prey. So they were like, people like this stuff if we make good ones.
Yeah.
And that's true.
That is true.
I watch a good one of anything, Mason.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, if Sony had a streaming service, it'd be called SPUMM Box. Don't you agree?
No, yeah, it would, but then people would do weird things to it.
Streaming SPUMMbox.
Yeah.
SPUMMbox streaming? SPUMMbox streaming, I think.
I think people would accidentally order it. Then they'd be disappointed there wasn't like a particular shaped hole in it. And I don't know. I just
You say you're right.
I don't think that would be a good name. They would do it, but I don't think it would be a good name.
Okay, right.
You know?
Okay.
Just my opinion.
Symbiote glory hole.
That's way better.
Yeah, that's what I thought. If Sony did do a streaming service, they would absolutely make the mistake of like having a physical hardware box that you had to get sent to your house.
Probably would, yeah.
And it just plays Sony stuff, and you have to unplug it. You have to plug it in every time you want to use it, and unplug all your other stuff.
If you've got a Sony TV,
you have to unplug your PlayStation to put the SPUMMbox, plug the SPUMMbox in. And people are like, can't I just plug it into the PlayStation? No, you can't. No.
What are you thinking?
No.
Does the PlayStation have this app? No. That's games and well, also streaming, but
yeah,
but no, they still have in Australia.
We promised we'd never do another streaming service after PlayStation TV network or
Whatever
whatever.
it was, yeah.
So we're not allowed legally.
They still
the
send,
FCC has denied this.
They send out Foxtel boxes soon. Still, so Foxtel in Australia, for those who don't know, it's cable. It was like
basic cable.
It was the only cable it's Murdoch owned for decades.
Besides Ozstar and Optus Vision.
I guess they did, but they were also more recent. And
yeah.
Murdoch had all the sport and whatever.
Yeah.
And you can get the app, but they still send, like if you're an old person, they'll give you the box with a specific remote if you ask for it, you know? But
I think is lovely.
It's like $90 a month
insane,
as well.
right?
And it's got a bunch of ads on it. And you have to like pay for extra stuff on top of it.
It's wild that it's still it's pay TV that it was sold in Australia as pay TV. You don't have to have no ads.
Yeah.
No ads because pay TV because you're paying for it. And then it's like, nah, we'll do ads though, I reckon.
I reckon that's a great idea.
What are you going to do? Cancel? Oh, you all cancelled.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah, because also we had 4 channels growing up.
That's true.
In Australia. It was really good. Yeah. We're basically like what New Zealand is now. Disgusting.
Yuck.
Steven Spielberg. Now, as mentioned, he's working the Fabelmans Rounder Room at the moment, introducing it to a party of friends and fans.
All right.
Which is the story of his childhood and his love letter to his parents and all of that. And apparently it's very good. But forget that. Forget everything you know about that movie, Mason.
Good. They lied to me. They said Fabelmans like he was some sort of superhero. And I don't like it.
I don't like it either. But anyway, he's going to be directing a new Frank Bullitt movie.
That's right.
Starring one Bradless Cooper. Bradlick?
Yes, Bradlon Cooper.
Bradlon Cooper. Now, this is not going to be a remake of the movie Bullitt,
No, it's a
starring
continuation of Bullitt.
Mr. Bullitt, Frank Bullitt himself.
That's right.
Is that his name, Frank Bullitt?
Yes, Frank Bullitt.
Yeah, which was a Steve McQueen movie from the late 60s?
68.
Which you've seen at the cinemas, right? And you said it was amazing.
I did, yeah. I saw it at the Astor. And,
Yeah.
It was one of those movies where people were like, oh my God, you got to check this out. The car chase is incredible. It's a car chase as unto a legend. And I watched it for the first time on like a little box TV on a DVD. And I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
But then I watched
But
it
it was also like the first car chase
Yeah,
of that.
right.
Like with the real cars and not just somebody in front of a
exactly
projector.
Yeah. And it was just and I saw it on the huge screen with the Astor with a bunch of fans, and I'm like, this is amazing, and it is so dangerous. This whole thing looks so dangerous, but it's very good, I think.
Yeah, cool. So I looked up because I was like, surely there's been another one of these.
No, never.
At some point, like you know how Jason Statham was Carter from Get Carter at one point.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. And
like the guy from Payback is
Mel Gibson, and also Parker. Yeah,
Parker was someone else
he's
has
Mel
done
Gibson,
Parker.
And
Maybe Jason Statham
Jason
again?
Statham has also been Parker. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought,
Stallone was Get Carter.
yes, that's what I mean. Yeah, sorry, Stallone was Carter and Kane was the original.
Yeah.
Get Carter. He got Goss. They had to get a new Carter.
That's right. Yes.
Get the new Carter in here. Carter got. But so I thought they'd done a bunch of these, maybe.
No.
But no, this is the only other version.
And the author, I don't believe, ever made another novel.
I looked into that. Yeah, I don't think he did. Of this character or
this
just
character,
in general. Yeah. So that's kind of fun. I like the idea.
How do you feel? Because we speculated, or we didn't we speculated, but we also did some wishful thinking, and we said Adam Driver, I think.
Oh, for Bullitt.
For Bullitt, yeah.
Yeah, mate. Have we talked about this?
Yeah.
That Steven Spielberg was going to do it. Wow. Yeah, well, I like our speculation, sure.
Yeah.
I know the obvious choice is like Ryan Gosling, which I think, like he looks also more like
Steve McQueen,
I guess, but I think Bradley Cooper is a good choice.
Well, I'm going to be mad about it until it's out, and then I'll be like, this is pretty good.
It's pretty good, actually.
Steven Spielberg's a pretty good director, I think.
Yeah. Bradley Cooper's got the pointiest face in Hollywood, doesn't he?
Does he?
Just all of it. Chin, nose,
It
just
is
all
very
of it.
pointy. Yeah.
Hair like,
Mm,
it's
yeah,
like an
yeah.
arrow. It's like an arrow, Mason.
He's like an arrow.
Which is perfect to play Mr. Bullitt, spelled
yeah.
Bullitt.
In Bullitt, the love interest was Jacqueline Bisset, who was only 1 inch shorter than Steve McQueen. And so it was panic stations because that was the era where you couldn't be like, oh, they're roughly
He
the
was
same
only
size.
like 5'9", wasn't he, or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So she spends most of the movie like lying down in bed. So they got around it.
That's the one thing I loved about Tenet, the fact that Elizabeth Debicki is like a foot taller.
Yeah, than John David Washington. Yeah.
Which is really good.
Well,
And
then they should get Elizabeth Debicki.
I agree. Just giant Elizabeth Debicki to pick up Bradley Cooper and place him in a baby seat in the car. I don't know how tall Bradley Cooper is.
Well, I mean, let's look at what it says on Google and guess how tall he
Okay,
actually
I'll
is.
look up Elizabeth Debicki.
She's 6'3", right?
Yeah, apparently. Which is probably
Do you think
accurate.
do you think it's in? Yeah, I don't think it's in reverse for women. Like
No.
they wouldn't be like 6'3", she's actually 6'5".
Yeah, it says she's 190 centimeters.
Bradley Cooper is 1.85 meters. I don't want to look that up. God, I don't
That's
wanna do the conversion.
6'1", I think. I think it's 6'1".
Okay,
I'm pretty sure it's 6'1".
it is 6'1". Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Now
Think he's actually 6'1"?
No. I think he's probably 5'10".
Okay, right.
Or maybe he's 5'11".
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
You're
don't
not
know.
going to give him those last 2 inches?
No.
Okay, great.
He's not 6'1". If it says he's 6'1", he's not 6'1".
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to Google Bradley Cooper standing next to Elizabeth Debicki, and then we'll know.
Bradley, because there are sites that are obsessed with like celebrities' heights, nearly as much as we are, maybe. And they've got like pictures of them next to different people with different shoes on. So they kind of
Right.
So I'm going to look up real height.
Okay.
So he's 185.
That's okay.
No, they still reckon he's 6'1.5".
Okay.
What's Bradley Cooper's weight?
See, here's the thing,
Great
though. Also,
question.
if you're lying about like Bradley Cooper's height, you'd have to lie about like the heights of all the women that he dates.
Yeah, okay.
Because
yeah.
otherwise, people would use that as like a literal yardstick and go, well, she says she's 5'9", and if she's not lying, then he's whatever. This guy's only 5'10". Let's get him.
I stumbled across an old Reddit thread from 2 years ago where it said, did Bradley Cooper lie about his height? Because on the internet it says Tom Hanks is 183 centimeters tall and Bradley Cooper is 185 centimeters tall. But in this photo, Tom Hanks looks taller. But if you look at this, Tom Hanks is closer to the camera. So it's like,
true, yes.
that's a ridiculous
He's way
thing to
closer.
say. What are you talking about?
Tom Hanks is also twice as wide as Bradley Cooper.
Hey, my car, which is right near me, is bigger than that bus that's over there. What's going on? Hey, I'm a dumb guy.
Okay, but what are people on the internet saying, James?
I
As
can't
opposed to
read
you?
it, Mason. I'm a dumb guy. I don't know.
One of the classic all-time jokes.
I agree,
as far as I'm
Mason.
concerned.
So there we go. That's Celebrity Heights for
Yeah.
this week. Tune in next week for Celebrity Wigs, where I tell you all the celebrities who wear wigs. Spoiler alert. Probably
Yeah.
like 40% of them.
Hey, speaking of tall, very tall men,
Is this a one bit of news?
this is one bit of news.
Love it.
Chris Hemsworth is taking a break from acting following Alzheimer's revelation.
Yeah, loving those headlines, by the way.
Yeah, it's a bit of
Chris
a-
Hemsworth has Alzheimer's
it's
and
very
will quit
clickbaity.
all movies.
That's right. He said he's got
A genetic predisposition.
disposition to Alzheimer's, and I guess
Yeah.
he's taking some time out to sort of reevaluate
It's pretty terrifying.
his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got I think he got the gene from both of his
Both
parents.
of his parents, exactly, yeah.
which makes it more likely, but his parents don't have it
That's
at this
true,
point
yeah.
at least. Yeah.
He says it's not like I've been handed my resignation,
Yeah.
despite what I said a moment ago that I'm going to quit movies forever.
Yeah.
But he's taking a break for a short while, where because he's done that series Limitless, which I think is on Disney.
He's also
Plus.
been flat out. Like he's
for
been doing
years,
so
for
much
literally
stuff,
years,
yeah.
like both acting
Physically.
wise and on the campaign trail for all his movies, and also just constantly being fit all the time.
He's got that app that's going on.
Yeah.
Center app.
Yeah. Now, when I finish this tour this week, I'm going home and I'm going to have a good chunk of time off and just simplify, be with the kids, be with my wife. So that's nice.
Yeah. Cool.
He just did a movie with someone and he's like, I'm loving, this is just nice. Just nice
to do a nice
to be
movie.
part of a team where Taika Waititi isn't making fun of me. Or something to that effect.
Do you think that's what's happening?
Maybe.
Let's check what that movie is and then how tall he is. He is tall though, isn't
He's
he?
extraordinarily tall.
Limitless? No, that was the show that you said.
Yes.
We're the same age.
Mm,
I don't like how we're the same age, Mason,
interesting.
because he looks much better than me. If he
Only
looks
in the world's opinion, James.
So just every person on the planet
Yeah.
thinks that this is true.
But you don't, so that's what's important.
No, I do think that, Mason.
No. That's the worst attitude you could have, James.
Spiderhead?
No.
It's Extraction 2?
No.
Interceptor?
No.
Not Interceptor?
No.
Oh, that was the one his wife did or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are the movies, unless it was a show.
Hang on, I'll find
Oh, did you see Neighbours is coming back?
Oh, I did see that, yes.
Just got rid of it. Come on. I don't like that. No, there's no movie here, Mason.
I'll find it momentarily.
No, I have the list here. He hasn't done any
okay,
other
right,
movies recently. So it was Interceptor, Spiderhead, Love and Thunder, Extraction 2, which is next year, and then Furiosa in 24.
Yeah.
Where he's playing.
Oh, it was Furiosa. He's like, I love working with George Miller. I'm glad it's not Taika Waititi making fun of me. That's not what he said. But
Yeah. I was beating him up and he was still making fun of me. You ever seen that? Where like a real smart ass guy's getting beaten up and he doesn't care. He's just still like making fun of a person.
here it is. It's from
It's good
IndieWire.
fun.
I shot with George Miller on the new prequel to Fury Road, Furiosa, and I said to my agent, that's where I want to spend my work hours with someone who is kind and collaborative and interesting.
Unlike Taika Waititi, who made fun of me.
That's right.
And my height. He said I was too tall.
Too tall. They said 200 years ago I would have put you in a cage,
Probably.
wheeled you around in a freak show. The amazing tall man, but is he even a man? He's a monster.
I would have been better looking than him then.
That's right. You'd have been a gentleman and he would have been a brute. You'd have called him a brute. Look at this brute, you would have said to your wife and your kids.
I'd make him eat a rotten apple or something on a stick from a distance because he'd hurt me.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Damn, I'm born in the wrong era to be better looking than Chris Hemsworth so I can make fun of him.
Yeah, but you would have probably you would have had to work in like a factory or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I
You would
wouldn't have been rich, would I?
No, and you would have been horribly
I
scarred.
would have been
by
a
something.
sooty-faced little creature
Exactly.
just eating dirt. At least I'm better than Chris Hemsworth 200 years ago.
That's right.
All right. Do you want to know about the future of Batman, Mason?
Yes.
It's via THR. This is David Zaslav on the future of Batman. I think over the next few years, you're going to see a lot of growth and opportunity around DC. There is not going to be 4 Batmans. And so part of the strategy is to drive the hell out of DC, which James and Peter are going to do. I think they've thrilled the fans. I think they're going to thrill you over a period of time. Wow.
I love being thrilled
I
over a
would
period of
love
time.
if the... How good would it be if...
I hate it when I'm thrilled all at once in a
Yeah,
span of
then
a
it's
single
over.
second. I'm like, oh.
Now it's regular life
Oh,
again.
regular life sucks. I'm covered in soot. Ugh. This apple's all rotten, but it's all I have.
Why I'm saying
This
that,
sooty apple.
so he says there's 4 Batmen, which is true at the moment. There's Pattinson,
Yep.
there's Affleck, and these are all active Batmen, I should point
Yeah.
out.
Keaton?
Keaton and
A guy outside the
who's the 4th one?
Ah.
This is obvious, isn't it?
Is it Ian Glenn from Titans?
I mean, maybe. I mean, he's one of them.
Yeah. Maybe TV isn't included.
Yeah.
I would love to know who this 4th Batman is.
Let me check.
Oh, it's Pete Best
Oh, from the whatever.
from the Beatles, yeah.
From the whatever.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I guess. Yeah, so does he mean like there's not going to be 4 Batmans because there's
Batmans.
because there's 3 Batmans? There's not going to be 4 Batmans. There's going to be 3 Batmans.
We're doing a hard limit of 3 Batmans. I know the fans are clamoring for more Batmans at all times.
Who's going then? Do you think they're going to like roll in Keaton and be like, see you later. Thanks for your cameo in The Flash. Now
Yes.
fuck off.
Absolutely.
Get the fuck out. Get out.
Get out.
You're too short also.
I think they're going to get rid of Affleck and Keaton because it's just too much money.
Yeah, maybe.
Like at this point, what are you getting Affleck for? A cameo at
Yeah.
best, I would imagine.
You're not going to give him his own movie at this point because maybe he doesn't want to do it.
And he's going to be, and his agent.
I would like to see a Ben Affleck Batman movie.
but I think his agent's going to be like, okay, and 15 million for this brief appearance. Yes, no, okay, then he's not doing
Yeah.
it. He's got other stuff to do. He's got a second marriage to
whatever.
Yeah, the lady.
What's her name? That really famous
a
woman.
really famous lady, Jennifer
Love Hewitt.
Love Hewitt. He's got a secret marriage with Jennifer Love Hewitt, and he's got to maintain that.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see because we know. I think Affleck's probably in Flashpoint.
Yep.
I would say. God, no, he is. We've seen like on-set stuff, and he's
in Aquaman
too.
Okay.
So who knows where we're at? Anyway, I just want the new Pattinson one. I liked that last one, and I want a new one. That's what I want, Mason. This is via.
Couldn't have that as a soot-stained man back in the day.
Yeah. You know, I get real people in my real life, Mason.
Go on.
Who are like, you know what? I don't like Robert Pattinson, but I liked that Batman movie.
Okay.
They're like, I hate him. And I'm like, why?
Right?
What? Twilight.
Yeah.
Like fucking 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Get over it. And he's good in those movies. They're bad, but he's good at them.
He's trying his best. I'd like to see you do better, my mate, in real life.
That's what I say to them. All right, what else we got here, Mason? Oh, yeah.
Great question.
It's via Vanity Fair. Margot Robbie was talking about her Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Remember this?
It's off the table.
They were like, get out of here, Johnny Depp. Look what we got here. So she said, we had an idea and we were developing it for a while, ages ago, to have more of a female-led, not totally female-led. She's covering herself there, I think, to be like, in case people are like, we hate Ghostbusters. God, fucking Ghostbusters, Mason. Just every goddamn day with that shit fucking...
Really?
So occasionally.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I don't think about it at all.
I hate Ghostbusters.
I know you do.
But just a different kind of story, which we thought would have been totally cool, but I guess they don't want to do it. Yeah, I think it would just be... First of all, those movies are not good. They haven't been good since 2003. I know the people like the follow-up ones, and they're always like, look at the CGI and Davy Jones. Yes, all very good. But they're not great, are they?
No, and I think the problem there is that if they were to do one now, the care and attention would not be there on the CGI.
Yeah.
For a bunch of reasons, including the fact that Marvel is sort of
sucking up all the juice.
They're monopolizing all the visual effects companies.
Yeah.
And that it would be, I mean, you know, maybe there's a special effects house out there that has a real soft spot for these movies and would set aside a lot of time to do them, but would they have the time? Is the question.
That also, if they did bring them back, they would have to be Johnny Depp focused, you'd assume. And at this point, he said that he wouldn't do them again. And he's like, he's not looking and doing great, it seems. You know?
Neither is Captain Jack Sparrow.
Sure, I guess that's the point, isn't it?
Do you think people would accept a recast of Captain Jack Sparrow?
Fuck no.
Bradley Cooper.
Well, that's different.
He's 6'1", bearing in mind.
Yeah, well, so he says.
Yeah,
so he
that's right.
says. I don't know. I think they should just...
See, here's the thing, James.
Yeah.
If Bradley Cooper were in that, they'd have to fashion him a peg leg. And then we could talk to the peg leg manufacturer and determine his exact height.
How would we do that?
I don't know, man.
We could probably do that.
We could set up a business as fake peg leg.
Peg leg mates.
Yes.
Is that a good name?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, it says what it does. Does what it says in the tin.
We're at the forefront of peg leg technology,
That's
we'll
right.
say. But then we just take measurements and go, thank you.
Thank you.
And then
We've
they
got
come,
what we needed.
They come back to the stall. It's gone.
It's gone. It's never there. It's just
All
a
right.
Hungry Jack's.
Or a Wendy.
Hungry Jack's drive-through.
Oh,
we're like we do drive-through peg leg measurements. So we're gonna get you to lay down in the tray of a ute, Bradley Cooper, and go through this drive-through, and we'll measure you up.
Also, do you want a bad coffee while you're here? Bradley Cooper.
You want a double barbecue bacon stacker? Because I'm having one. You want one?
Anyway, I think, look, Pirates will come back at some point, maybe as a streaming show and whatever, but for now it's just not happening.
Pirates of the Caribbean, babies.
Yeah, and good because they're bad. And they're expensive.
What is there left to see? I guess the thing.
Did Salazar get his revenge?
Don't know, but I think they'd have to do if they're going to do it. I think they would have to do a completely different part of the ocean.
Yeah, I agree.
maybe.
Which I guess was what they were doing.
Yeah.
So Pirates of the Caribbean, it's the Arctic.
But they are sort of damned if they do and damned if they don't, because if they don't bring at least some of the characters from the previous one, people are like, we don't like this. But
and they have to bring Jack Sparrow back.
But if they don't bring these, if they do bring these characters back, I think a lot of people are like, especially like with the last couple, they'd be like, these guys look tired.
These are bad.
Everybody looks exhausted.
And there was that thing of like, but Johnny Depp wasn't remembering his lines and just put in an earpiece or whatever. And you could really feel the like, just the boredom out of everybody.
The last
in that
one
last
is so bad.
Just a trope. Looks good.
Oh yeah, well, like care and attention. Who did they fight in the? Was the last one the one where they
Salazar's Revenge?
Was it?
It was the
Was there a
Waterman.
Yeah, okay.
It was Javier Bardem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk more about Pirates in a bit because I've got
Okay.
some other stuff I want to cover with that
The
sort
sopping wet man.
The sopping. He was a sopping wet man. And they already did like Fish Crab Man and whatever.
Yeah,
Now they're
yeah.
like, he's a sopping wet man. Great.
Maybe there's more interest now that we've just done it. We've done an Aquaman, we've done a Namor,
And we're getting Avatar in the water.
Avatar, or maybe that'll kick it off.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, okay, right.
God. You know, oh, by the way, this week for Caravan and Garbage, we're doing Batman somethings, whatever.
Sure.
Batman, the bad one. What's it called? Killing Joke, the animated movie, and maybe another thing. And then we're doing the Road to Avatar 2. So we're going to look at some movies leading up to that. And
Great.
There's some fun to be had there, Mason, isn't there?
Sure is.
Just jump ahead a bit. I watched Titanic the other night in preparation.
How'd that go?
It's fucking great, like, honestly. I know you've never seen it, and you'll probably be like, this sucks. But I think it's terrific.
Maybe I won't.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll like everybody's little outfits.
Well,
I'm
you'll
banking
definitely
on
like
people
that.
liking little outfits.
And you should appreciate that the clock looks like the real clock or whatever, and they replicated a bunch of it.
Oh, hell yeah.
And everybody hated it and had a bad time on that movie.
Oh, I see.
Not the
Production
clock,
line.
just the
You're right.
whole experience, it
Okay.
seems. Anyways, this is by Empire Magazine. We got our first look, which means we're coming up on the trailer, no doubt. And they want the trailer in cinemas before Avatar 2. First look
Avatar too.
Yes, Avatar. No, mate, they got me saying it. They got me saying Indiana Jones 5.
Okay, yeah.
As yet untitled.
Yeah.
There was a story that it was just called Indiana Jones at one point.
Yeah,
I
okay.
hope that's not true because he's got to be
Yeah.
in the whatever and he does a thing.
Exactly. It fits with the trend.
Indiana Jones and look at this weird thing he
Yeah,
found.
it fits with the trend of like you do a reboot and you just cut it down to, it's Fast and
But
Furious
this
or
isn't-
whatever.
it's never been
No,
what
I know.
these are.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Indiana Jones and there's the box that does the thing on the whatever. Look out, everyone.
That's right.
It's got God's laser in it or something.
Oh, no.
Anyways, we got a couple of images and covers, including Harrison Ford. He's back, Mason.
We
And
knew
he's-
he was back,
What kind of
James.
clothes is he wearing?
Regular Indiana Jones clothes.
Indiana Jones clothes. It looks like him, doesn't it?
Sure does.
We also got a few other images, including Boyd Holbrook and Mads Mikkelsen, and I've got some details here, Mason.
Okay.
First of all, it's confirmed to be set in 1969.
Nice.
Thank you. It's also going to be living against the backdrop of the space race.
Nice.
But the American effort to beat the Russians to the moon brings some uncomfortable truths to Indy.
Is it all the Nazis in the space program?
Correct,
Okay,
Mason.
right.
The simple fact is that the moon landing program was run by a bunch of ex-Nazis. Can you ever really be an ex-Nazi?
That's a great question.
I mean, I guess if you fully
Who
renounce...
are you asking for?
Nobody that I know, Mason.
Okay, sure. Well, that includes me, so.
So Mads Mikkelsen is playing the villainous Voller, who is inspired partly by real-life Nazi turned NASA engineer Werner von Braun.
Uh-oh.
So he said that
Does that mean there is a Werner von Braun in this
presumably,
universe?
I guess. So he's a man who would like to, or maybe not, maybe he's the guy, whatever.
Maybe he's the guy.
He's a man who would like to correct some of the mistakes of the past. And there's also going to be an Apollo 11 ticker tape parade in New York. Did you see that in the poster?
Oh, yeah, right.
And it's also says that Boyd Holbrook is also going to be like one of his workers and minions. And he's
there's
a Nazi person.
There's a what I think is like a concept image, and it's Indy in the city, and there's a big column of fire or something shooting up. Is that?
Yeah, I think that's the poster or whatever.
Is that?
I think,
Is that in the? Okay.
Yeah, that's
Indy in
what's
the city.
going on.
That's
Indy in the
interesting.
city.
Yeah. Do you think Mads Mikkelsen's character will meet Werner von Braun?
I think he probably just is, actually.
Okay, right, but
Yeah.
then they could shake hands and show they're definitively different
They're
people.
different people,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know if we've talked about this before, but in the American Psycho, the novel, the original novel,
Oh, yeah, we have talked about this, yeah.
Patrick Bateman meets Tom Cruise in
Yeah.
his apartment complex.
Because they live in the same apartment.
Because they live in the same apartment, but it seems to have been largely so people didn't go, is it supposed to be Tom Cruise? Is this Psycho meant to be Tom Cruise? No, obviously it can't be because he just met
Tom
Tom
Cruise is in it. Tom Cruise
is
just
in it.
is friends with this psycho.
that's
This
right.
American psycho. Also, Christian Bale has said in an interview that he's based a lot of Patrick Bateman on Tom Cruise. He's laughing. You see him in an interview and he's having a good time, but you look at his eyes and he's like dead inside. Like he said something
Yeah.
like that, which is hilarious, Mason.
All I'm saying is I don't know like how litigious Werner von Braun's family is.
Sure.
They're like, how dare you defame this
I mean,
former
he's a Nazi, so do you
Yeah.
want to bring attention to yourself?
No, I don't
like,
think-
if my granddad was a Nazi, which he wasn't, he killed a bunch of Nazis, Mason, I'll have you know.
Interesting.
And they were like, and someone was like, your granddad, this guy is based on your granddad, and your granddad's a bad guy. I'm like, I don't know anything about this. I wouldn't say a goddamn thing. I'd
That's
shut
right.
my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might even make up some backstory like he wasn't a Nazi, but he killed a bunch of Nazis.
I would not need to make it up.
Even though he was a Nazi and then he just took a non-Nazi's identity.
You'd
and
say
moved to
I would
Australia.
do that, hypothetically.
I'd say you would do that.
But
hypothetically.
not, though, would I, at all? Because he wasn't a Nazi. He was a regular man.
Nice.
He was a good Aussie bloke, Mason.
That's great.
Who had his own trials and tribulations in Australia because he wasn't a Nazi. Not that there
Wow.
aren't Nazis in Australia, because there are. Just to clarify. Anyway, great, good.
How did he say the number 3? How did he show that on his fingers?
Break the way that you get shot for if you're in Germany. Anyways, how are you feeling about this? All this imagery.
I love it. I'm excited for it.
Me too. I hope it's really good. But will it be?
I saw some discourse on Twitter today because this was all released,
Yeah.
and people saying, oh, I don't know if it'll have the same Spielberg kind of energy, like it won't have the,
Yeah.
you know what we're looking for, like a indie fighting a bunch of Nazis on the tank kind of, you know, that kind of big action set piece. I think it will.
I think it will. Or also, Spielberg doesn't make those kind of movies anymore, you know, and that's okay. He's doing like the Fabelmans and whatever. So I think he's in a different, and he's doing musicals. He's in a different era, you know. And also, I'm pretty sure he was like, I'm done with Nazis and shit, like years ago.
Yeah,
you know, and that's why also he had the Russians in Part 4, because I think after he did Schindler's List, he's like, this isn't fun for me anymore to be like, you know, to just parade a bunch of Nazis around on the screen. Like, I get that. Anyways, I'm glad for the movie that the Nazis are back so we can see more Nazis being killed. It's the perfect villain, Mason.
it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyways, this next bit of news is via Heavy Spoilers. Great YouTube channel, by the way, Mason. You should check it out. If you love breakdowns of various things, this is where it's at. There's so many, but this is a good one too.
Terrific.
One of the best. So this is about Deadpool 3. Apparently will feature Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Oh, sorry, no, not Deadpool 3. I've put I meant to say Secret Wars. You know, those Avengers, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's going to feature Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, several X-Men cast members, Fantastic Four ones, and so on and so forth. Kang will have ravaged multiple dimensions at this point, and so it'll be the final stand against him. Nice. So it looks like they're going balls to the walls, Mason, which makes sense for something like this.
Yeah.
How do you do bigger than an Avengers Endgame?
And that's their rallying cry of that super team.
Let's
We're going
get
balls to the
walls. Yeah, so there you go. We've talked about, speculated on something like this, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if you just have everybody show up again, it's like, no, we've seen this, but this is like a whole other level of intergalacticness.
Do you think that they would kill any of those characters?
Yes.
Do you reckon?
I don't know. Who cares?
Right. I guess that is a great point.
Did anyone die in that battle? That Endgame battle?
Oh.
Aside from Tony Stark?
No.
I don't think anyone
They
did.
just swatted at each other.
I mean, there was
for
a bunch of like Wakandan soldiers and whatever who were killed, but nobody with a name.
That's true.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Do you think do you think that a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man would die in this?
No.
Okay, yeah.
They'll bring him back when he's 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they never want to close.
If he's alive.
Yeah.
Or even if he's not.
They never want to close the door on any of those characters, even though they could say, oh, well, the one who died was an offshoot of that reality. It's actually a different one. I think people will be like, but didn't he die, though?
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah. But then again, movies.
Then again, movies.
That's the final word on it, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, yeah? You think your word's that good?
I think so.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Mason, this is via The Wrap. So the budget for Fast X, the 10th film,
Fasten your buttholes.
That's right. In Universal's lucrative Fast and Furious action franchise, the budget, has ballooned to $340 million. Wow. Now, that's not for 10 and 11, which is going to be their end game.
Just 10.
Where it's balls to the wall. Yeah. Now, according to individuals with knowledge of the production, that's 70% more than the reported $200 million budget for Fast 9.
Balls to the family.
F9, the Balls to the Family saga. Now, this can be blamed on numerous big budget busting elements.
Vin Diesel.
Well, including salaries for series star Vin Diesel and the rest of the franchise ensemble cast. Plus, they brought in like Brie Larson, Jason Momoa, whoever else is
Does
in
this include the last director dropping out? And then does that would
probably
that include his salary?
Yeah, because that would have thrown everything out as well. Louis Leterrier is doing it now. General increases in production costs caused by global inflation.
You're not wrong. Not wrong.
That's the price of doing business, that you know.
Yes.
Packet of eggs is now $14.
I was just thinking about the eggs.
Packet of eggs. That's what we call them in Australia. Give me a packet of eggs while you're down the shop. And they come in packs of 7 in Australia, don't they?
That's right, exactly.
And it's in one long row.
That's
it's
right.
awful. It doesn't stack. It's terrible.
Yeah. That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
Because you've got to buy like 4.
Yeah.
And then it's 28 eggs.
You get
It's too many eggs. It's the only way you can stack them.
That's right. You get 28 eggs, and then you throw out 4, and then you got 2 dozen.
That's right.
Yeah, and then it fits in the fridge because the fridge has the regular amount of eggs to hold.
But sometimes you can, in some houses, you can get a specific like egg hole.
Yeah.
To slot your eggs in.
That's true, yeah.
Slide your eggs in there.
Yeah. It's good.
Then you got to watch out for egg possums. They'll take your eggs. They just pull them right out of the wall.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, in Australia.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, it's legit.
Yeah, it is legit.
When you said that, I was saying I was like, eggs?
Eggs are expensive.
Expensive.
Yeah.
Spence egg.
Spence egg. So it's also
Charizard.
Charizard's there.
The cost of Charizard.
Yeah, it's expensive. They had to clone it and everything. So pandemic testing also required because of safety protocols, etc. Now I thought that must be the most expensive movie ever made. It's not. Here's the 6th most expensive movies ever made.
The top one is Pirate. That Pirates
It is.
movie. Yeah, we talked about this quite recently.
Yeah, so that was somehow Pirates of the Caribbean 4 from 2011. Which one was it, Mason?
The one based on Stranger Tides. Blackbeard.
Beard
The
and
Blackbeard
Mermaids
one.
and
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. $379 million. Age of Ultron was $365 million.
Huh.
Was it?
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Endgame was 356. Infinity War was 325. Presumably that's because of the cast. Like there's there's less in Infinity War whereas in Endgame. Pirates 3, which was the third one, was $300 million. And Justice League was $300 million. Just the 2017 one.
Yeah.
And that's amazing to me, Mason.
It's all amazing.
Yeah. So that's the movies.
Yeah.
And that's the final word on it. Mason, this is via the wrap.
Probably a lot of eggs being consumed on the set of the fast
Oh,
food
no doubt.
for protein
No
purposes.
doubt, Mason. And then a series of...
Just a tear from Vin Diesel's eye every time he sees one being eaten.
Because he looks like an egg in a
This
vest.
looks like an egg in a vest.
It's by the Rat Mason. So they're saying that Black Adam will not be profitable.
Uh-oh.
While Black Adam cost $150 million domestic total, it made $350 million at the global box office over the weekend. That's not going to be enough to turn a profit on the $195 million blockbuster that was accompanied by an expensive global marketing campaign. Even if somehow it inched its way to $400 million worldwide, Black Adam will fail to get in the red. It did have a huge marketing push, though, didn't it? It was everywhere for a time. I feel like bigger than Black Panther, even. So
It was on all our eggs.
it's true.
Yeah.
It said there's a section of
Hey, go see Black Adam. You know you want to. It's
Yeah.
going to be a great film. It's got The Rock in it, and it's got a bunch of cool action sequences, and Pierce Brosnan is in it.
It's true. I'm egg number 1 of 7. So there's also a section of Johnson. This is how it works. Johnson fans will turn out for anything that he's in, and that was a major reason why it posted the 50 million plus opening weekend. And then the global return sagged the following weeks with mediocre buzz. So a Black Adam sequel, which will one for $200 million at least, is far less likely, especially considering how Warner Brothers have been cutting costs left and right following the merger with Discovery. So yeah, I think strictly from a business standpoint, it doesn't make sense to sink $200 million in to do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
And it also pokes holes in when people are like, you don't want to offend us, the true fans, because we're the people that keep this whole thing going and whatever it is. The true fans are always a minuscule subset of like just the general audience.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the true fans didn't cause Endgame to be a global box office multi-billion-dollar hit. It's just everybody saw
goes.
it.
And it's the same with, because we'll talk about it, but like, Avatar and in 2009, which is again the number 1 movie, and Titanic. Titanic ran in cinemas for 9 months. And people kept going to see it. Like, I know Claire saw it 4 times in the cinemas just this year. When it came out, when she was a kid. So that you're right. They need everybody if they want a big global hit. It's the same with Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
That made close to $1 billion or $1 billion, whatever it was, because everybody saw it.
Yeah.
And that's movies.
I think it made more than that. I think I saw it the other day. I think maybe
Probably did.
made nearly $2 billion.
No Way Home box office, Mason. Yeah, 1.9, you're right.
There you go.
Yeah, that makes sense. And again, then that was still like COVID and everything, and it still made that much. Anyways, did you see also James Gunn posted a picture this week of Mr. Terrifico?
That's right.
What's
That's
his deal?
exciting.
What's he doing? What's he up to?
Well, Mr. Terrific.
He's teasing us, the true fans.
That's true, yeah.
All their money.
I think maybe when we briefly talked about who could be on the Justice Society next, I think we maybe said Mr. Terrific.
This is how we did this.
I think we did this exactly.
feels
So he's a man in the comic books at least. He's a guy he was a super genius, but he's like, I don't know if life's worth living. Everything sucks. And then the Spectre shows up and he's like, how about if life is worth living? And Mr. Terrific's like, oh yeah,
Interesting. Go on.
Go on.
No, I don't have anything else to say. But
That's
just
right.
imagine if life
Just
was
imagine,
worth-
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a big ideas guy. I'm more of a wrath of God kind of guy. So if you want to just think about that.
Yeah.
But he's like, I believe he in the DC universe, he's considered the 3rd smartest man in the world.
So who's that behind?
Lex Luthor and Bruce Wayne.
Of course, yeah.
But there's got to be smarter guys than that.
No.
All right then, great, terrific.
They're also rich, which means you get a big computer.
That's true.
And that makes a huge difference.
And a big fan base that'll just say you're a genius because you're rich. Anyway, but he has also like he's he has sort of Batman-esque abilities, and he's got like original, but like so he's he's a world-class athlete, and he's a surgeon, and he's a martial artist and all that sort of stuff.
Blah blah blah
blah blah blah. He has like he's invented these devices. They're called T-spheres. They're like floating sphere devices, and they've got all sorts of cool gadgets in them.
Ooh.
He's invisible to technology. He can't be picked up on cameras and etc.
Okay.
So that's a fun little tidbit.
So if you try to get a photo of him in your phone, you're like, Mr. Terrific, let me get a photo.
He'll hit you, yeah.
He'll hit me.
Yeah.
So that's how he's invisible.
That's right, exactly.
He'll just hit you.
Word has got around. There's just a bunch of fragments of like security camera footage. Like he walks into a gas station and there's just this footage of him seeing the camera and then walking into the booth and just laying into a guy.
Great stuff. So is this a character you'd like to see?
Yeah, I mean, also this character has been previewed in the Arrowverse.
He's in the testing grounds.
He's in Arrow, I believe.
Okay, great. I didn't know that.
I'm going to look up and see what his costume looks like.
What am I going to do?
I don't know. Do a little dance.
Here we go.
He's doing it, folks.
I'm doing my dance and I'm having the best time. I don't need friends. I've just got this dance.
That's great.
Yeah, I could even do this podcast just by myself, just doing this dance. I hope people stay if it's just me doing this dance. Is this worth the money and time people put into this, Mason? Would we lose all our sponsorship? I don't know about that. What if they liked the dance?
Anyway, it's the classic Arrow, the classic Arrowverse kind of
it's a
leather jumpsuit, leather suit situation. But as we know, he has fair play written along his. Do you think they're going to do the fair play along the?
Have to.
I think they
it's
are.
James Gunn.
I think James Gunn will have him do that.
Great stuff, Mason. All right. Bad news, everybody, for us, I guess.
The worst news anyone's ever heard.
This is terrible. Apparently Collins has informed us because I send this over in chunks. The episode that the voting has already closed on the Weekly Planet, just the Weekly Planet, because it's rigged, because it's gerrymandered.
That's right,
for the podcasting award. So thank you if you have voted already,
and no thank you if you didn't.
Yeah, no,
just kidding. You can.
No,
thank you for listening.
No, thank you for listening, but no, you don't get a thank you. I'm sorry.
Wow,
I'm putting my foot down.
So the people that voted get a thank you for listening and also a thank you for voting. The people that
they have to have listened though.
Yeah. And if you listen but you didn't vote, you get a thank you for listening.
Yep.
But you don't get the coveted double thank you.
Exactly.
But if you don't listen but you voted,
you get one thank you too.
You also get one thank you. Okay. Yeah.
I love this, Mason.
If you don't listen but your partner listens and they harangued you to vote, you get two thank yous, I think.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
One for voting and one for putting up with that, with that nonsense. Our nonsense specifically.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you won't hear this
unless
your partner again makes you hear it, in which case a third thank you for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you listen, thank you, but you claim
it's like a Venn diagram.
But you claim to not listen but your partner has asked you to vote on this thing and you have voted, then I think you get three thank yous.
I think so too, yeah.
Now, why you and your partner both listen but you claim you don't listen, that's your own business.
You and God and your partner.
Yeah, that's your own business. Maybe you might want to have a conversation about honesty.
Yeah.
And you might get a thank you. And that's what you seem to be all about. That's all you seem to like, thank yous.
We want 4 thank yous, do you?
God, is that enough thank yous?
Can someone do the Venn?
Well, thank you. That one was sarcastic, that last one, yeah. Still counts though.
I want the Venn diagram.
If you could,
of like people getting thank yous.
Yeah.
All right. Here we are, Mason. We're going to be talking about Kevin Conroy over his 30-plus years as Batman. 30 years. Well, he started in 1992, but of course the recordings and all that casting began in 1991. So we're going to go through some of our favourite episodes, movies that he's appeared in, or video games and all of these things. Again, as I said up top, we won't be covering literally everything because there's so many things that he's done and like Lego video games that we're probably not going to mention.
We would just be listing every episode of every show.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. We probably would. And look, to be frank, I don't remember every episode. Wow. I've also put up in the Weekly Planet, the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates, if anybody has any suggestions there. I mean, you can add them after if you're so inclined, but hopefully we'll get a few responses there that we can list and talk about towards the end. But I think it would be fitting, Mason, if we started at his very first appearance on Leather Wings.
Oh, first appearance of him? First appearance of Man-Bat.
Yes, exactly. What a strange episode to start with. Just kick it off with a Man-Bat.
Uh-huh.
But I guess talking about the show in general, as a kid, seeing this compared to like most other things that were on at the time.
Family Ties.
Don't forget your toothbrush.
Spin City, also featuring Michael J. Fox.
Hey, it's Saturday.
Sure.
These are all the shows of our childhood. But looking at this show as a kid, I didn't know why, but I remember being like, this is different. This feels...
Yeah.
It feels like somebody cares about this. It doesn't talk down to you.
Yes.
It's not silly like a lot of cartoons that we would watch of that era. Like it took the source material very seriously. And did you feel that as a kid?
You couldn't immediately know upon entering a scene in this show what was going to be a movable object and what wasn't, because the movable object was obviously drawn in a different way.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm talking about Scooby-Doo.
Yes, of course. And most Hanna-Barbera shows.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about, even like animation quality-wise. You know, it was still pretty good in the 90s, but this was definitely a cut above. And even design-wise, nothing looked like this. And I know we're not here to talk specifically about the show necessarily, but I think, his performance has definitely added to that, where they could have got, I don't know, just a guy who was just like, I'm Batman, hello everybody.
They could have got Casey Kasem.
Who's that from?
Voice of Shaggy, I think.
That would have been perfect, actually.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean by that, right? Like or they could have got like someone doing a Michael Keaton impersonation or whatever.
Adam West impersonation.
Yeah.
Or Adam West. Which they did, a number of times, I believe.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Maybe even I think they did for the Scooby-Doo meets Batman.
Oh, right,
crossover.
okay,
I think
yeah.
they
Well,
might have
that
gotten
makes
Adam
sense.
West.
Well, that's good stuff. I love all of that, yeah. Do you have any specific episodes or moments, though? Because I've got quite a bit that I want to talk about.
You jump off and I'll...
So on that very first episode on Leather Wings, it's like one of the only times that it happens. Batman is in the Batcave and he's doing his Batman voice. And this also was one of the few places that took a very distinct effort to make sure that they were different. There was like a lightness to Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And Bruce Wayne is a performance, obviously, in Batman is who he really is. And in it, he takes a phone call with somebody as Bruce Wayne, but he's in the Batman costume.
Oh.
So you see the Bruce Wayne voice coming out of... And you don't really think they're that different until you see him doing the Bruce Wayne voice when he's in the Batman costume, and you're like, God, that is wild. That's so distinct.
Well, it's also interesting that, the years later, of course, they had Batman Beyond, where Terry McGinnis takes over as Batman and Bruce Wayne is exclusively Bruce Wayne, but he just doesn't care about the difference anymore. Like he's
you're right.
He's post-retirement and he's just Batman.
Yeah.
You always see him as Bruce Wayne, but he's always doing Batman because that's who he is.
There's a moment in that show as well, and we will get to more of it, where he's I can't remember what the context of it, but in his head, he doesn't call himself Bruce Wayne. He calls himself Batman, like, because that's who he is. So anyway, I thought that was terrific. There's so many episodes of this. I can't think of a bad one. If I'm like, what's a bad one? I don't know. I can't think of one. But the Two-Face episodes, which does like the origin of Two-Face and where he comes from, that's really good. And a number of people talked about this and put this clip up, I think including Kevin Smith, where you see Harvey Dent after he gets acidified or he's in caught an explosion or something. It's not strictly like he doesn't get acid thrown in his face like he does in a courtroom, like in the like traditionally. There's a moment where, and I can't do it, where he's just like, Harvey, no. And he just like has this like, and it's not like, Harvey, no. It's like really like.
As you would have
As I would do it and did it just then.
Yeah.
It's really like, oh, that sucks. Because like they were friends and they're working towards a common goal and all of these things. And he's just like heartbroken for this guy. I thought that it's a really terrific, just little moment in a couple of really terrific episodes. Yeah. What about you, Mason?
Well, one of my favorite animated Batman appearances, and I definitely have mentioned this on the show before, but there was a Justice League Unlimited episode called This Little Piggy, where Batman is on the hunt for Wonder Woman because she has been turned into a pig by Cersei, the sorceress.
That's why in League of Super Pets, Wonder Woman's animal is a pig in that.
Oh, maybe.
That's the callback, I guess.
You reckon it is?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, Green Lantern has
all the animators just hated Wonder
Yeah,
Woman.
maybe. Green Lantern has a squirrel, so I guess there's like a squirrel Green Lantern is in there or something.
Well, there's Gnaut.
Is it? No, the Flash has a squirrel.
Well, then I don't know.
The Flash has a squirrel who shoots lightning.
I see.
Yeah, and it's Diego Luna who does the squirrel.
What's Green Lantern's guy?
Green Lantern's not in it, I don't think.
Whoa.
They go Cyborg, Flash. They do basically the...
So it's the cinematic Justice
one,
League. Okay, right. But there's an episode where, he has to find Wonder Woman, pig in the city.
Yeah.
Before she ends up in an abattoir and is chopped to bits.
So she doesn't have her memories and stuff, I assume.
Well, she can't talk because she's a pig, and she doesn't seem to. She has lost most of her powers, but
Most?
She's still got the lasso, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, but eventually Batman and Zatanna confront Cersei in a nightclub that Cersei has taken over, and Batman realizes
The big showdown.
Yeah, Batman realizes that he can't defeat her in any meaningful sense because all he's got's batarangs and she's an immortal sorceress.
Yeah.
So he's like, let's make a deal. What can I do to make you lift your spell on Diana? And she's like, I'm going to do something that will destroy you. I'm going to need you to be vulnerable. And there's a moment in there where you're like, oh, she wants him to reveal his identity to the world. No, she actually just wants him to get up on stage and sing. And so Kevin Conroy gets up and he does "Am I Blue," which is a Ray Charles song from back in the day, and it's great.
He's very good, and everybody in the room is like, he's very good. Well, he's Batman, so he would be really good at singing.
Yeah, he's like, I believe he says he had to go undercover as a singer at one point, so he learned all the standards.
Of course, he did.
Yeah,
yeah.
So they're like, oh, okay, but
Yeah.
Anyway, great.
Really good. Shows his versatility. And we've done an episode on this, but the Heart of Ice, obviously, the Mr. Freeze, and then there's some multiple movies that happen afterwards. But that episode in particular, I mean, that's just a good episode. But again, he's good in it, as he is in every episode. You talked about this one last week, Beware the Grey Ghost, which is him teamed up with Adam West, who plays like pretty much like the Batman of the 60s, I guess, but he's called the Grey Ghost, who was actually the inspiration for Batman in this universe, at least. So he's like Bruce Wayne's hero.
And Adam West Batman, I believe, was the inspiration for the creators of Batman the Animated Series. So
there you go.
It all comes around.
Wow, full circle and all of that.
Full circle.
So that's a lot of fun. That
Again,
one as well.
I don't know if they worked together in the booth, but I hope they did.
Yeah, they often did, but I don't know the specifics. Mask of the Phantasm, which we'll probably cover one day in depth. There's a moment in that where he just wants to be happy, and he meets the woman and he thinks, this is great, I'm going to quit being Batman, I'm going to get married, and I just want to live a happy life. And so he goes to his parents' grave and he's just like asking for permission to be like, can I just have this one thing, please? I don't want to do this anymore. Can I just be like a normal person?
And they're like,
no,
we didn't ask you to do this at all. What you're doing is crazy, quite frankly.
This is you.
This is ridiculous.
So do you know why they rebranded as the New Adventures of Batman? Because they brought in, that's when they brought in all like the extended Batman, well, not all of them, but like when they brought in
a second Robin
and a bunch of, and Batgirl and a bunch of other stuff.
I don't know. Is it a syndication question?
It could have been like a toy rights thing as well.
Maybe,
I'd imagine, so they could do more toys. And I think that's all good stuff as well. But you mentioned Batman Beyond.
Yes.
And it's just seeing that version of Bruce Wayne who's just still Batman, but he's just like, I'm 70. And you see at the start of the very first episode as well, he's got the Terry McGinnis suit because that's his current Batman suit in the future. Right. But he ends up drawing a gun on somebody to basically save himself.
Yes,
because he's like 50 or whatever. And then he retires. 50. Yuck.
Ugh, yuck. That's when I'll be getting a gun.
But one of my favorite episodes of that as well.
A little side note though.
Yeah.
In at least one episode, you can see in the Batcave he's kept all his Grey Ghost merchandise.
Oh, has he?
So you can still see like the goggles and the hat and stuff.
I do love the continuity of that where there's so many things that they could have done, and I remember hearing a Fat Man and Batman episode, and I want to talk about that a bit later as well, where they could have gone out of continuity and they were like, do we do like... But they were thinking like, do we do Kid Batman? Do we do like, there's all these other directions.
Batman Babies.
Yeah, Batman Babies. But the fact that they decided to go, let's just jump like 40 years. But they keep all of the continuity, and you see like all of these different, whoever's left.
Yes,
like shows up, and just his Bruce Wayne like as a mentor is really, really good. But there is an episode where he gets like de-aged significantly. Have you seen that one?
Oh, yeah.
And it's called Out of the Past. So he basically gets a shot to be young Bruce Wayne again.
Yeah, right.
And initially he's like, I love this. But it's like, drives you mad or whatever. So I'm not going to do it. Yeah.
Youth, it's driven me mad.
It's driven me mad. But that's a really good one as well. I feel like I'm flying through these, but that's all right, isn't it, Mason?
Well, we've got to do video games as well.
We got to do video games,
video
yeah.
games.
We got another one before I got a couple other things I want to talk about from Justice League.
I'll go ahead. Sure.
So we have an episode on this. This is on Caravan of Garbage. Spoiler alert, mate. Even though I know you're in this episode, even though we are doing Batman, The Killing Joke, which, and you mentioned this, you reckon it's one of like the flatter performances from him and Mark Hamill in that. And I was just
now, bearing in mind, I did say that before he died.
That's true. We had to re-edit some stuff in that because I made a joke, something like, well, we were talking about how they're going to do this until they're like 90 years old or whatever. And then he died like a day later after he recorded that. So we fixed that up. But I liked hearing them do the dialogue, but you were like, I could take or leave this.
Yeah. But I think it probably was that, I don't know, it was like discordant with that weird flat rebirth, DC rebirth.
It's not good, so that doesn't help. It's not a good movie at all.
Which is a shame because, it was made by great people, Bruce Timm and et cetera, and all the acting actors would attempted to do their best, but it's just it was just an attempt to both modernize the storyline and I think make it more self-contained, but it sort of fell in on itself, I think.
I wonder if they could have maybe tied it into this animated version, Because they've got all the cast.
That's true.
Some of the cast.
Yeah.
So why not just be like, this is a thing that happened?
Yeah, but I also wonder if maybe...
And don't do all the weird stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
Like the Batman having sex with Batwoman and all of that stuff.
I wonder if perhaps they made a conscious choice not to do that because kids...
It's really dark, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and kids watch the animated series and maybe it would get lumped in on a bonus disc on the DVD or something and kids would watch it and it'd be weird.
But I think with you could have changed stuff in that to maybe you don't have the Joker take photos of Batwoman.
Or maybe,
or shoot her through the spine.
Well, exactly, or maybe she's attempting to apprehend the Joker in a warehouse and a bunch of stuff falls on her and, that's and she's in the hospital or something like that.
It's heavy stuff.
It's heavy stuff.
Yeah. It says heavy stuff on the boxes.
That's right. 500 libs, it says.
Yeah, that's right.
I guess big Acme weights that say 500 libs.
I guess the point is that we didn't like it. But we also cover For the Man Who Has Everything.
Yeah.
So there was Justice League and then there was Justice League Unlimited. And I'm not sure why they...
Justice League is just the core cast.
And then they go out. But I don't know why they there was a rebrand, I assume a relaunch.
Yeah.
It's all good stuff. And obviously Batman also appeared in the Superman animated series quite a bit. But yeah, I enjoy that quite a bit. But so yeah, For the Man Who Has Everything is good. It's also good because Batman gives, this is more of a writing thing, but he gives Superman cash for his birthday. So it's like, I don't know what to get him, I'm going to get him cash. But we get
I got tons of this.
Yeah.
I have more than I know what to do with.
But there's
maybe you should buy a social media platform. I would, but they don't exist yet. So
but there's and everybody would know this, including you. On the 13th episode of the second season, there's an episode called Epilogue, where Batman, there's a girl called Ace who has the powers to alter reality. And she's changed all normal people into the Royal Flush Gang, and the whole universe is collapsing in on itself because this girl's messing with it because she's been tortured by the government. So Amanda Waller has a device which will kill her, but she can read minds, and so Batman's give it to me, I'll kill her.
Right.
Which is also he's never
one of my classic moves. I'll do my signature killing of a kid.
And he takes the box and goes in, and of course she could read.
Maybe this will finally quiet the demons in my soul if I kill this kid.
So he goes in, and it's also obviously all of this, most of it. It's all excellent writing, but he goes in and he just puts the box down and he has a conversation with her. And she's like, it's unfair, and and I'm dying. And she's like, will you stay with me? And he's like, of course I will. And they hold hands, and then she dies. It's fucking way too heavy for a kid's show. But no, that's not true because kids understand stuff, And it's just great. He's just really good in it. It's just a really well written, well acted episode and moment. Yeah. Here's something that I'm not sure if you've seen. In between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, there was a series of vignettes animated that came out called Batman Gotham Knight. And they did get...
I have seen those, yeah.
Yeah, it's, most of them, maybe all of them, are Kevin Conroy.
Why have I seen that, though? Was it on
maybe
Netflix?
Maybe at mine? No, we had it.
Right.
Maybe you've seen it then. But he basically does... It's sort of set in the the Dark Knight universe.
Right.
And it's kind of his early days. And they also do an episode where they think Batman is dead, or they're talking about different Batman stories, which is similar to the, where the kids are telling the stories
Almost
about.
got. Well, there's actually two of those in the Batman animated series. There's or maybe it's the new Batman Adventures. There's this one where the kids talk about how they maybe saw Batman or what they think Batman is like. But there's also an episode called Almost Got Him, where all the various villains talk about the times they nearly got Batman. That one, that is a classic episode too.
That is a good one, Mason. Yeah. But so the one that they've got is Have I Got a Story for You, which is, again, talking about, and then Batman shows up at the end. I'm just having a look through whether he voiced all of them, and it looks like he does. Yeah, I think he did them all. But there's one where he's in training, and there's one where he's learning, to master his, pain threshold, and he's young. He's supposed to be, 20 or whatever. And they were going to recast it, and Kevin Conroy was like, no, I can do it. Yeah. And you hear it in it. He just sounds younger. He sounds more youthful. And if you haven't seen these, they're really good. You should see them. They're just 10 minutes each, and they're really great. Yeah, it came out just before or around the time of The Dark Knight. And it's just, I don't know, people don't really talk about it, but it's really good, and he's really good. And it's good to see a good thing, isn't it? And it's not like Batman and the Joker, Batman and the whatever. It's just it's weird stuff.
Yeah,
or stuff that you wouldn't necessarily expect to see. Have you got another one? I've got heaps.
No, James, I'm out.
Some.
I'm out.
You're out? That's all the things that you appreciate? Well, we're still going to talk about things that you like. There's a movie which you would have seen. Everybody's seen this. It's one of the best DC animated ones.
Mask of the Phantasm?
We talked about that already, Mason.
I thought you'd go back up to the top of your page.
No, Mason. It's called the Flashpoint Paradox, which is Flashpoint for the most part in animated form. And it's not a Batman movie, and Batman's barely in it. But there is a moment at the end where after the Flash goes to the future and he meets Thomas Wayne, who's Batman, because in this reality, Bruce Wayne was killed in the alley, so Thomas Wayne becomes Batman, but he's way angrier and he has a gun because he's old, presumably. So then
I'm 50.
Yeah. So then so the Flash tells Thomas Wayne where he's from and who he is and all of that. And so when the Flash arrives back to his regular reality and everything's slightly different, I think it's also when they redid all the New 52 animated stuff. That was a turning point in the animation. Bruce Wayne gets a letter from his father. And so his father, who was not dead in the reality, whose son was dead, writes Bruce Wayne, who's alive, whose father is dead, a letter. Yeah. And you don't see the letter. You can see a bit of it and whatever. And he says something like,
Bruce, what is going on here?
Help. He says something like, you're one hell of a messenger or something like that. And the delivery of that, again, he's barely in it. He's great. He's really, really good in that one as well. Do you want to do some video gaming stuff, Mason?
Yeah.
We could talk about, there was an episode-styled video game called The Adventures of Batman and Robin. It was a side-scrolling game.
I vaguely remember
from
that,
the 94, I want to say.
Okay.
Which is a lost episode. And they voice in that. They do their voices in that, which is apparently it's very good. I don't think I've ever played it. There was also a couple of games before the Arkham games that he did, Batman Vengeance and Batman Rise of Sin Tzu. And apparently they're just very good episodes of the show, but it's early days beat 'em up kind of stuff. You do the Batmobile and whatever, and Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill and all of that come back, but they're good. But of course, the ones that people would know him for most are the Arkham games.
Yes,
and
not that last one, not the
whatever that one was.
Arkham Origins, not that one.
No. Oh yeah, he didn't do Arkham. I thought you meant Gotham Knights, but yes, also that. Now, video games they're often phoned in by the people in them. And you see that if you look at the Marvel Sega games, it's Robert Downey Jr. being get the Iron Man suit, I reckon. I'll use it. Chris Hemsworth did one.
Who's he talking to there?
I don't know. Jarvis? Doesn't matter.
Sure. He's talking to
Who am I talking to? Who do you think I'm talking to? I don't know. Someone just give me the fucking suit. And I think this is also because he is a voice actor. Well, he's not just a voice actor, but they don't feel phoned in, do they?
No, absolutely
not. At all. Was that one of the things that because that game, I don't know if you remember this, but that game came out of nowhere.
I remember Arkham,
yeah. And I was living
the whole universe.
Yeah. I was living in Tanzania, and I remember you messaged me and you're like, this game's incredible. And I'm like, fuck, I'm stuck in fucking Tanzania. I bought my PSP, but it's useless. I didn't even bring it. Yeah, and it also felt like a more kind of grown-up version of the animated series because they're all in it,
Yeah.
but it's obviously its own.
And it's just the
Universe.
incredible layer of detail on the whole
God.
thing. But just being thrown into this insane world. It's
Yeah.
very comforting to have Kevin Conroy there, I thought.
Yeah, because you're like, I'm Batman.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's right. There's no need to worry. I'm gonna be fine because I'm Batman.
yeah, they did make you feel like Batman.
Yeah.
But no, there was definitely that sense of familiarity. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, man. That's
Thanks.
how you say it.
That's how I say it. Because you're like, I'm Batman. I'm a Batman that I know.
Yeah.
And he's not just like, give me the Batman suit, someone.
Right? Yes.
And with all of those games, it's just, and again, like, it's not like doing a TV show. They record, again, this is everybody in it. They record dialogue that you just might never see.
Yeah.
And he's just talking to himself or to, on the radio or to Joker's thugs or whatever the fuck. It's amazing. I think you're right. I think that first game is the best game of those.
I think it is, yeah.
Because it's like, they shouldn't have gone bigger.
Well, it feels
necessarily.
like a big episode of real
Something.
or a movie. Feels like a big movie or a big episode or like a two-parter
Yeah.
of the cartoon or something like that, where it's like there's no mucking about, there's
Yeah.
no flying over the city. It's just
Let's do this.
let's do this.
Yeah. I still like Arkham City. I think it's amazing. But
Yeah,
yeah, maybe they missed a trick in being like, I mean, where do you go?
Joker's trick.
Thank you. But if you do like Arkham Asylum,
yeah.
where else do you set
What
it?
do you do?
Do you
Exactly.
set it in like the carnival place? Or like, is that a big enough?
Oh yeah, good
Where
point.
do you use Rikers Island? Not Rikers Island. What's the,
Strikers Island.
yeah, isn't there there's like a prison, isn't there?
Oh,
Oh, the Blackgate.
Blackgate,
There is a
yeah.
Blackgate
yeah,
Batman game.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
got it's a PS Vita one. Yeah.
yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe
But you could find a locale.
that's true.
Or you could make it like maybe like the level design is you got to go fucking fight someone on the other side of the world. Richard Dragon, I don't
Sure,
know. So
uh-huh.
you do it like that. You have like little environments
Yeah.
that maybe – because it's basically – it is a series of like little environments connected, right? It's
Yeah.
like a big-ish map
Yes.
that you can run about. Yeah, anyway, he's really good in it. But also he's in Justice Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's doing two Batmen.
Yeah.
And one's like, oh. The other one's like, oh.
Sure. And you got to have different effort sounds for when they get hit in the balls.
That's right.
Is he also DC versus Mortal Kombat Batman? Let's look it
I
up.
think he might be. I don't know about that. You look at that because I want to look up
Okay.
another thing,
Okay.
Mason. Oh, I was going to say, I didn't think he did it. Justice League Crisis on Two Earths. William Baldwin does Batman in that.
Ah, okay.
And he's pretty good. But
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah.
No shade on a lot of other actors who've played Batman. Like, I only recently watched some episodes of Batman: The Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
And Diedrich Bader, who
He's
is
great,
very,
yeah.
he's great for that version of
Yes.
Batman, which is a kind of a more of a two-dimensional, silly
Yeah.
Batman.
yeah. But no, he's fun. And I think Keanu Reeves does a pretty good Batman in Super
Oh,
Pets.
Super Pets,
yeah, I
right.
think he's
Uh-huh.
pretty good.
Uh-huh.
Did you find it, Mason?
Uh,
Tell me any secret that you have.
Well, I went to Wikipedia and it wasn't there, so I went to IMDb, and now I have to scroll through IMDb.
What were we looking for again?
Ed Boon is additional voices, and I think that's important.
Mortal Kombat versus DC Wiki Wild Wild West, Mason.
Nice, great, loved
Do you
it.
agree?
David Gazana.
Oh, there you go. Well, he was probably good too.
I bet he was good.
We don't remember.
We don't remember. It's true.
Well, I guess we could also talk about the one live action thing he did as Batman.
That's true.
Now,
yeah.
I haven't watched this episode, but I have watched the clips.
That's all. That's all. Yeah.
Of him and Ruby Rose's Kate Kane, where in the Batman Crisis on Infinite Earths Arrowverse multi-universe
Crossover,
spanning
yeah.
situation, and he's a version of Batman who's been like half beat to death so many times that he's in a big mechanical
He
suit.
is stylistically, I think he's meant to look like the Batman we see in Kingdom Come,
Yes.
the Alex Ross.
But he's way more
graphic novel.
evil.
Yes, so he's a variant on that.
Yeah. I saw I watched some behind the scenes stuff on that, how he was talking about like this version and who he is. And he was like, I always wondered and he was so excited. He's like, I always wondered whether I ever get to be Batman, but then I aged out of Batman. I'm
Right.
like, oh, I'm never going to be Batman. He's like, but then I aged into Batman again and I get to be Batman. And he was just really excited to do it. I
That's
thought that was super cool. I should
terrific.
watch those actual episodes and crossovers and all of that, I guess.
I think that there's a certain camp fun to them
Yeah,
all. Everybody
I think
seems
we'll
to be having a
probably
nice
come
time.
back to them. Yeah. Anyway, if you have any more, Mason, let me know. There's one more that I want to do a big recommend on.
Do a big recommend, James.
So this is from 2011, and I remember when this came out. It's episode 11 of Fat Man on Batman, which has now become Fat Man Beyond, and it's branched off into other things. But Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin, they used to, and they not always together, but they would interview people from the show, or just various incarnations of Batman. And episode 11. And it's just such a good episode because I remember listening at the time as well. He just talks one-on-one with Kevin Conroy. Right. And at that point, I'd never heard him really speak at length about it.
Right.
Because I didn't have any of the DVDs or anything like that. But it just like they go through the span of his career in like theater and how he moved from theater into voice acting and how he, what he did and where he drew inspiration from and all these like personal experiences that he has and how he brought that to the role.
I met Batman once.
I met Batman. And he said, do it like this. And I said, I will. And it's great. So if you're looking for, there's so many good interviews of him and just like even people he's at a con and somebody comes up with a phone and just asks him a question, all this, there's.
Yeah. How do I work this?
Help me, Batman.
Can you change the settings? I made the font too small. Now it's too small to change it. He's like, well, what you do is you go into this menu. Thanks, Kevin Conroy.
Thanks, Batman. But there's so many moments of, just like little moments of him just, and cameos. Like he's done a bunch of cameos, which people have been posting as well. I might just read some of the ones out here from the Facebook, if you don't mind, Mason. So Leon says, I'll probably always go with Return of the Joker. I love that film and he plays a truly damaged Bruce Wayne really well in it. Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good one. Jess says, seeing him play live-action Bruce Wayne was a great way to cap off his voice work for the character. During the CW's Crisis event, he came back and did a version of Bruce Wayne with a full-body exosuit like he did in Kingdom Come. There were always ways to have him voice a similar Batman kind of character in other shows, but I'm glad he got the chance to fully play the Batman. He will be missed. Drew says, there's a great episode of Justice League Unlimited titled Epilogue. Mason, we've covered all of these.
We've covered that.
Where in the future, Terry McGinnis learns the truth about his birth. Oh, yeah, which we've covered briefly. That's true. There's a fantastic interaction between Batman and Ace. Yep, absolutely. Here's one that you said, Mason. Dan says his rendition of I Am Blue is absolutely iconic. The Arkham trilogy is probably one of the best interpretations of Batman ever. I really love his role in The Phantom Stranger in the Batman Brave and the Bold episode Chill of the Night. I haven't seen that. There you go.
Well, it's all on some streaming service.
Probably, yeah. What do we got here? Joshua says, honestly, he was great in everything, but Arkham Knight has to be my favorite Batman. It shows emotions in the most Batman way yet. Really get the feeling that he loves and will miss each member of the Bat family. Mike says, the animated series Perchance to Dream. Conroy does a fantastic Bruce Wayne in the episode as well as Batman. Do you remember specifically what that episode was? Was that like a Joker toxin, Scarecrow toxin one?
Can't remember. Let's look it up.
Oh, here we bloody go. Oh, that's a good looking title.
He wakes up one morning to find that his life is completely different. His parents are still alive. There's no Batcave. Alfred has no memory of Robin. And he's engaged to marry Selena Kyle.
And it's some kind of mind trap?
It's almost definitely a mind trap.
Chill of the Night, this is from Matthew from Brave and the Bold features Conroy as the Phantom Stranger and Mark Hamill as the Spectre. Adam West and Julie Newmar as Bruce Wayne's parents, a really thoughtful exploration into the effect of revenge has on Batman as a person. James says, this is quite the job. Every performance he gives is a standout, but Batman/Superman Public Enemies is a gem that's really spoken about. I think I've seen that, but I can't remember specifically.
You might have read the comic book.
Yeah, I definitely read the comic book.
Yeah, it was Superman and Batman, and it's the one where Lex Luthor's the president, and he's all, let's get him.
Let's get him.
Let's get these
together.
Let's get these pricks.
Adrian Crawley says how he was a great bloke. That's true. And Mike says, got the last one here. Mike says, Justice League Unlimited, the Doomsday Sanction. Batman sees a kryptonite nuke is heading to an island that Superman and Doomsday are on, and he and the other League is top speed and runs to their plane to stop the nuke himself. He's banged up by it, but Superman comes to talk to him, but Batman's not a happy chappy, and he linked to the clip there. So yeah, if people want to add to this, like obviously feel free to join out the Great Mates group. But yeah, that's really
I think the
cool.
lesson we've learned is no bad performances from Kevin Conroy.
Except for that one that you said in
that one's not, yeah.
But that's only
the one
you.
that I publicly said.
I don't think that at all, Mason. Anyways, I'm glad we got to do this because I feel like often when somebody dies, we're like, we should do this, and then we like
forget.
We forget, and time moves on, and then and whatever. But no, that's what a incredible legacy. And I do hope that there are some other things that he's got in the works. I know he did work on I think, what is it? He-Man season 2, the Kevin Smith one.
okay.
And again, as that thing I said last week, it says on IMDb, so who knows that he was Thomas Wayne in that new Batman animated series that's coming out. But I don't know whether that's true. We'll find out. Anyways, incredible, Mason.
Yeah.
So incredible that I feel sad to be leaving and to go to the next segment of the show, which, do you remember what that could be called?
I think it's called What We Reading, colon or possibly comma?
Sure.
Question mark?
Yeah.
What are we going to read?
Now you say think. Do you want to get more definitive on that? It's too late. The theme song's playing. Okay. I'm doing the theme. What are we reading? Westworld. Oh, wait. I'm not supposed to do that anymore, am I?
You can do what you want, man.
That was an absolute... My instincts kicked in, Mason.
Wow.
But, of course, sections like this are strictly reserved for things that we're going to read or have read or watch or listen to, etc. and so forth.
Sections like this are only possible with a grant from the government.
Is that true?
Yeah.
How much we got? From Daniel Andrews, our state premier.
That's right. We get a reduced parking fee
Wow.
in the city. It's only $14 an hour.
I hate that. So I'm just closing this door because it's cold, Mason. It's cold.
Wow. In closing that door, you gave me a big gust of cold wind.
That was the plan.
Wow.
That was the plan, Mason.
Wow.
So what are you doing aside from talking about Dan Andrews?
Well, I watched a couple of movies this week.
Oh, really?
I finally watched Confess Fletch.
Oh, was that like?
It's fun. It's pretty low stakes.
Love those days.
It's, John Hamm is an absolute delight, as you might imagine, and annoying.
Hey, Mason, what about this?
Yes.
This is a riff. We start a restaurant. It's called Low Stakes, and you eat steaks on the floor, cross-legged.
I love it.
They bring it out and they go,
Nice.
here's your low stakes. We serve them.
We do. So we're responsible for this.
Yeah. And we say,
Okay.
here's your low stakes.
Right.
And then we laugh. And whoever's there is with us, they laugh.
I do love to laugh. That's actually very good.
And we do that for the rest of our lives.
The rest of our lives?
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you think?
Even when the business it probably has an initial social media boost and
Because
quite
people are like,
popular.
why would you do this?
And then people are like, we actually prefer to eat at a table with chairs and stuff.
We're like, there you get it.
Come on, you guys get it. And then we continue to do it for the rest of our lives, even though profits are down.
Yeah. We could also not cook the steaks and there could be a hot plate on the floor. I know that would be dangerous. But people were like, they could cook their own meat on there. And that way we don't have to cook. We can just bring out steaks.
It could be dangerous, but as people go into the restaurant, we could go and don't step on that bit of the floor because it's real hot, ha. And they would never know if we were being serious or not.
But also shoes off.
Yeah. Right.
It's disrespectful.
Shoes off in our house. Disrespectful.
Also, when we come out, we'll hold the plates in our mouths.
Okay.
And we'll be like, because we got to be low. So we'll worm our way across the room.
Oh, so we can't
We got to keep it low.
keep it low because the stakes always have to be low.
Yeah.
Because you're absolutely right. Because if the stakes ever became high, in a way,
We'd be a laughing stock, but in a bad way.
Yeah. In a way, ensuring the stakes were low, the stakes would never be higher.
That's right.
So
Damn, that's great.
Yeah,
we
that
could
could be
use
our
that.
slogan.
Yeah.
we could guarantee it. Like at those, the pizza place, it's like if we don't deliver your pizza in 30 minutes, it's free.
Yeah.
We could be like, if the stakes go above a certain level in the restaurant, you get them for free.
I love that.
And people will be constantly trying to push the stakes up from the ground.
But we'd be like, no.
No, we'd shoot them.
It's not
with our guns we got.
Because we're 50.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're in?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Great.
What could go wrong? What could
We'll put it in the CBD, the Central Business District.
Nice.
We could have rich business people come in. They'd be like, this is an odd place, but the stakes have never been higher.
We're also
lower.
very odd.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, what were you really saying?
I was watching Confess.
That was a
Fletch.
riff I just wanted to do.
I loved that you finally did a riff. I appreciated that.
Go on.
A lesser man would have vetoed that riff.
Yeah?
Obviously.
That you mean?
No.
Because you didn't veto it. Is
I
that what you're
didn't
saying?
veto it.
Yeah,
That's
no, I
exactly
appreciate
right, yeah.
that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, Confess Fletch.
It's fun.
What's it about?
It's about some missing art
Ah.
and a moider.
Is there a gun?
Yes, there is a gun.
Great.
You'd know that if you watch the trailer, James. You'd know there's a
I've
gun.
had watched the trailer. I just don't remember everything that's ever
Okay,
fucking happened to me, Mason. I'm sorry. Jesus.
Well, maybe stop with these pipe dreams where you're making a
Pipe dreams?
That's right.
Excuse me?
James, you just don't have what it takes to be in the restaurant business.
That is true.
Yeah.
But that's why I've reduced all the elements of risk. The actual cooking of the steaks.
That's right.
If we just buy high quality steaks, that's all the onus is off us. There are no salads or chips. It's just steaks.
Wow.
We don't even do cutlery.
Well,
They just have to use their fingers to flip the steak.
As it's cooking?
Yeah.
Wow, how do they eat the steak?
I
Just
don't
in
give
their
a fuck, Mason.
Yes, that's
we
true.
give them a napkin.
I guess you get them to
or
pay.
a newspaper.
we
Piece of
get-
newspaper they can
Do we get
roll
them
it up.
Oh, yeah. We give them yesterday's newspaper.
Yeah, or
Great.
today's. We're not going to
Okay,
read them
yeah,
anyway.
Yeah. What if there's a downturn in the newspaper business? You got to cover all angles.
I don't know, Mason.
Wow.
Also, no toilets. I don't want people coming and using our toilets, all right?
Okay.
If they say, well, where do you guys go to the toilet? We'll say there's
We
a
say our
specific...
homes.
We go home. We hold it. We go home because we're not animals.
That's right. But if you need to go to the toilet, there's another restaurant next door that's not affiliated with us.
Anyway, you're back in. It's by the sounds of
Yeah, I'm back in.
You're
Yeah,
making
yeah.
business
It's your
decisions.
passion.
Yeah, it's our passion.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
It's true.
so confess Fletch.
Yeah, it's fun. Bit of fun. Yeah, he's a real fast talker, and I like
Yep.
that. I like the sort of like that. He's just a guy who rolls with everything.
Can you see this becoming a franchise? Or like John Hamm's coming back. He's going to confess again.
I would love to see another one.
Yeah.
but I'm not sure how well this did financially.
Did it go straight to streaming? I think it did, didn't it?
It definitely did in Australia.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Almost
Check that
certainly.
out. Check that out if you
Almost
want.
certainly. Well, you do that. But I also watched See How They Run, which is the Sam Rockwell, Saoirse Ronan 1950s.
Is that at the movies?
Who didn't it?
Or
It
is
was
that-
at the movies. It's on Disney Plus now.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Cool. I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, but it's sort
And?
of it's again, bit of fun.
Love fun.
Yeah, so it's sort of a farcical murder mystery based around a murder that happened during a farcical murder mystery on stage. So
Nice. So Confess Fletch cost $20 million.
okay, all right,
And it's
all right.
made $580,000.
Oh, that's less.
So that's not good
That's
at all.
way less, actually.
So yeah, but there is a sequel shortly after the film's release. Malotta said he had been hired to write a sequel based on the 1978 novel Fletcher's Fortune, but he's not sure if it would ever get made. I mean, depending on streaming, I guess.
All we have to do is wait another 30 years, and
Easy.
somebody else who loved this one will make the next one.
You maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'll funnel all my low stakes money to it, I guess.
Yeah, some of it, a fraction, because we'd have so much money.
Much money, exactly.
Yeah, money to burn.
You know why? Because we saved on toilets.
That's right.
Yeah.
And chips and salads and stuff.
Yeah, so it's just
Cutlery.
steaks. Just steaks.
Just steaks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, cool, man.
Have you seen that video it's on YouTube and it's on Twitter? It's the bear, but they only serve peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and water. I'll send it to you.
Please do. You said you were going to send me something last week. Goth Frasier or something, and you didn't.
Oh, Grunge Frasier.
I couldn't find it this week. I kept looking for Goth Frasier. And I'm like, God damn it.
Wow.
Oh, speaking of, I think that came up because we did a commentary for Spawn.
That's right.
If you check out bigsandwich.co. But if you are, I guess if you're still here after that, the riff on the steaks, you might still be interested in that.
That's right.
Bigsandwich.co. It's $9 a month. It's like our Patreon. Or if you're already
In a
signed
way,
up,
the stakes have never been higher with regards to people turning off the podcast and never coming back after we
that's
did
a
that
riff I would not do up top of the episode, Mason.
Absolutely not,
Yeah,
no.
that's a 150 minutes in thing to do. Anyway, should we move to the next segment of the show?
What do you
Anyway,
been?
Spawn, it's bad, but we talk about it.
What have you been?
Oh yeah, Mason. Well, I haven't actually read. I've done a bunch of stuff because
You've
whatever.
done?
I watched
You've done some
Titanic.
worldwide stuff.
Yeah, but I
real life
downloaded
stuff.
and bought the first volume of A Righteous Thirst for Justice. You know, the Image comic?
No.
And apparently it's very good.
Okay.
And the character looks just like, what's his name? Who plays Wong?
Batman.
Whose real name is Wong in real life as well.
Benedict
Wong. He looks like him.
Huh.
So people are like, did you just draw this guy to look like Benedict Wong so he could be the character? I hope so, because I think it'd be cool. Anyway, apparently it's very good. I haven't read it, but I've downloaded and I plan to read it ASAP. So there we go.
There you go.
And I've done other things. I saw Strange World, but I'm probably going to talk about that on Suggestible
You saw
this
that
week.
with your son.
Yes, I did.
What did he think of it?
He thought it was good, Mason.
Okay, great. Even though it's not tied to an existing IP?
No,
I
but
know your son loves an existing
there's
IP.
fun,
He loves two things, existing
colourful
IPs
characters, yeah.
and making nunchucks and then hitting me with them
That's true.
as I arrive at your house.
That's true. He likes those two things. But also, he doesn't know, like, everything's new. So,
That's
like,
true.
existing IP means nothing to him. He doesn't know that there's 400 incarnations
Well, I think
of
you
the
should
Turtles.
educate him about
Existing IP.
existing IP and tell him that the only thing that is good is existing IP.
And also companies merging and buying other companies.
That's
Did you
true.
see that Blumhouse might be merging with... What are they merging with this
Dumbhouse.
week? No, James Wan's production.
Dumbhouse, which is the Zucker brothers takeoff of Blumhouse.
No,
They
it's-
just they can use the same sets.
I guess they
you know.
could. Now, what is it? James Wan's production, Twisted Pictures. Does he do
Oh, I
Twisted
see.
Pictures?
Must
Or
be,
is there
yeah.
another one? It might be called like the Conjuring something now.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
I don't know, but they might become one.
Interesting.
I love when two companies become one company.
Oh, my God, yes,
Yeah,
please.
you know that about me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's a restaurant we could merge with, but I don't think we should. Okay. At least not in the short term. Mason, what's the next segment of the show?
It's called Letters.
Great.
And it's got a theme, and it goes like this.
What if the other restaurant was called Lettuce, and then it could be steak and lettuce?
I thought you said no sides.
No, I know, but that would be we would have taken it too far because people would have been like they'd know us for not having sides.
Exactly. Right?
You're right.
We could merge with one of those restaurants where the staff are really rude to you.
Okay.
That still exist in 2022.
Like intentionally rude to you?
Yeah, like Karen. There's a Karen's Diner.
I've seen
in
that,
Melbourne.
yeah. And I saw the guy who got really mad because he got insulted or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in any of that.
No.
I'd rather go to a regular restaurant.
Where they don't yell at you.
Yes.
As much.
Could we promise that? We won't yell at you?
No.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. Yeah. It's dangerous ground there.
The whole place is dangerous, Mason.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's barefoot and there's grills on the floor and we're crawling around like worms.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah, here's the letters theme. The classic one was
Letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away.
I know they're here right now. We're going to do letters.
If you do want to reach the show to tell us to stop riffing,
Wow.
or just have a general chat,
Or continue riffing.
or continue riffing, you head over to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. Don't head over there, send a Gmail to that, or hashtag us, weeklyplanetpod, hashtag weeklyplanetpod on Twitter. Mason, do you have a letter for us?
This is from Parker, and Parker says, car troubles and I blame you.
What?
Hi, James and Meso. I'm a relatively new fan, but in the past 6 months or so, I've fallen in deep and have become an absolutely avid listener to the pod.
Yes.
I haven't had a good reason to write in until now. I've noticed with some amusement, foreshadowing, the trend of horrible disasters befalling listeners mid-episode, though of course I never expected it to happen to me. The Weekly Planet curse strikes again. Anyway, I've just had my first ever automobile accident while in the middle of one of your old episodes. Luckily, I'm uninjured, and I'm currently listening to the rest of the episode while on the 90-minute Uber ride home.
Oh.
In happier news, I've just gotten a job at Disneyland, and I'm looking forward to listening to my favourite Australian film nerds on my drive to and from. Can I be named the official Disneyland cast member of the pod? Cheers.
Very good. I'm curious as what the job at Disneyland is.
Smashing cars together.
Perfect.
Yeah, that is
Well, I'm glad you're okay. Anyways, you're lucky that you didn't die. So anyway, we're blessed.
We're blessed. You're blessed.
We're blessed.
Achieve. Go out and seek out your dreams, whether it be being the best Disneyland cast member you can be, or a restaurant that only serves steaks below a certain level of the restaurant.
That's right.
And if the steak goes above that level, you get the steak for free.
But that's our idea.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
don't do that
Yeah.
one.
Should we weigh the plates down?
With what?
Like lead weights.
So that they get even lower.
Well, yeah, but then people can't push up against them.
But then we have to carry them out, though, in our mouths.
Well,
we could put them on wheels.
I guess we could put them
Nudge
on
them
wheels.
with our nose like we're a seal.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
Something to think about.
It is something to think about.
You could even just try a few weeks of and just see how it plays out in the restaurant.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Just
get our method down pat.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Great stuff. Also, nice things happen to people who listen to the show too, right?
They're very true.
Do you find a lottery ticket and maybe you won enough money to get another lottery ticket? Does that ever happen to you?
No, not bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, this is from Broderick.
You ever had that situation? It's happened to me recently.
Yeah.
Where your workplace is like, there's a big jackpot. There's a big bloody lottery jackpot. And you got to put $100 in. Work and because you don't want to.
I have to.
Because you have to.
I cannot let all my friends win $50 million.
What if they all win?
What if they all win?
And then they're all driving off in their Ferraris, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll go to work.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah, I hate that. Because
Yeah,
I know I'm not going to win.
Yeah.
But what if they win?
Right.
And then I don't win?
But anyway, it happened the other day, and,
Anyway-
I won $27.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they go back in the pot? Because normally,
No.
because my mates are like, let it ride, let's go again. And I'm like,
Okay.
all right, let's whatever.
Oh, we lost it? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I figure as long as I stay involved, nobody's ever going to win. And I'm happy with that.
That's great,
I would
yeah.
rather nobody win than them win and I don't win.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
That's an interesting calculation you've made, and I respect it.
This is from Broderick Henry.
Just a cosmic ruining of other people's lives.
Yes, Mason.
Great.
Broderick Henry says, first of all, hashtag Weekly Planet Pod, which is the perfect hashtag to reach us. But also, hello, boys. I just wondered if you all read the DC Just Imagine miniseries, which Stan Lee wrote his version of Justice League members' origins, and I guess the recent Marvel's Heroes Reborn, where they made the Marvel version of the Justice League. You have read this, correct?
I've read Stanley Imagines.
And?
It's like, they're very Stan Lee.
Yeah.
But it's just like, what would a Superman look like? It's just a man who's really super. What would a Batman? Well, he'd have a head of a bat, wouldn't he?
Oh, it's like that, is it?
Yeah.
Great.
I don't know to what degree.
So he's a bat. He's a literal bat. That's
Hang on.
man bat.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you're incorrect there because obviously.
So it's just literal interpretation.
Hang on, I'll see if I can find one.
All right, I'll also look it up. DC's Just Imagine. But it's like these characters already exist and you're asking, and they're already like perfected at this point.
Yes, exactly.
And you're asking someone to be like, do
Yeah.
a new version of this.
Yeah, there he is. Classic.
Oh yeah, he's a bat.
He's a bat.
literal
He's a bat, but a man. It's weird he's got arms.
I hate this.
Yeah, it's pretty
He
good.
looks like a gargoyle.
Yeah, he's more of a gargoyle, isn't he? Started out as a wrestler, I think, this character.
Okay. Well, that's really good. Anyway, bad you say.
I didn't care for it.
Yeah. Cool. But what about the new one? Marvel's Heroes Reborn. I haven't done that either. I don't know. I haven't read that.
That's a great question. Is that a riff on the 90s Heroes
It
Reborn?
says,
I think it might be.
a recent Marvel's Heroes Reborn where they made the Marvel version of the Justice League.
Oh, I don't know that at all.
No,
I'll check it out.
I won't.
I bet it's
I'll
great.
let you check it out.
But I'll also go to JB Hi-Fi and get this Mego 8-inch action figure of Stanley. It's only $50.
Only?
No, it's $30.
Only?
I could buy that with my lottery winnings,
No, you couldn't.
and I'd have $3 left.
No, you'd have $3 to put in extra because you won $27.
Oh, yeah, I only won $27. Dang.
I'm beginning to think this restaurant, we won't put you on the books, Mason. You know?
I'd be taking $3 at a time.
Yeah.
I'd be cooking the books $3 at a time. He's wearing his signature yellow sweater. Look at that.
That looks just like him.
Yeah.
That's one thing that toys like have always struggled with until like more recently. If you put them in clothes, the clothes look so thick.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
fabric
yeah.
is so thick.
Oh my God,
you know?
he's got his
got a big-
his famous gabardine slacks. Incredible. I love that.
It's only $30 as well.
Only $30. I could put it up next to my Captain America.
Anyways, what else you got in the
This
business?
is from James.
That's me.
Well, it might be because the subject line is "My wife doesn't get it." Hi, James, little James, and that guy who sorts the mail. Listening since almost the very beginning. Yuck.
Yeah, stop
And
it, little
wanted to
James.
write in to say a huge thank you. My son was born last year, and as a father, I can say it's completely exhausting, especially the heart-stopping moments at 2 a.m. when you hear him cry out, thinking it's party time when Dad just really needs to go to sleep.
Yeah, baby.
Your aimless ramblings have got me through many a tough night. I decided to introduce you to my wife yesterday, something I've never tried to do before. I started with James's rant about Elon Musk and the situation at Twitter. I think she lasted about 30 seconds before her eyes glazed over and she stopped to leave the room muttering, "That's total chaos." Perhaps not the best jumping in point for a nervous first listener. Anyway, she might yet come around. And
She won't. Don't worry
and
about
worst
it.
case scenario, there is always divorce. Wanted to say huge thanks. Don't stop. Don't ever stop. James from the UK.
If you don't know us and you've had a baby, you don't want this. You don't need that.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to get them at their best. It's
true.
Show them an animation.
Oh,
Show them a
yeah.
little fun caravan of garbage.
Little
That's how
fun,
you get them
bit
in.
of fun.
Yeah. Anyway, all that Elon Musk stuff, I don't mean it. He's normal.
He is very normal.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
I think I forgot to say it at the end. that his
Physically, psychologically,
Yeah.
very normal.
hair's normal.
Normal.
It's all normal. Yeah. It's normal.
He's just normal. He's just a normal man.
This is from David, #Weekly Planet Pod. I just watched I Am Number 4 again this week. And
His
think
financials, they're all probably really
I
normal.
reckon they're normal.
It's not in the hold of any weird governments or anything.
No.
No.
If anything, it's normal.
Very normal.
Again this week, and I think it would make a great caravan of garbage. That's I Am Number 4. Maybe you could do films that tried and failed to be the next Twilight. Yeah, I like the idea of doing like a failed YA. There's Mortal Instruments, City of Bones.
Oh, I remember that one.
There was not this. That's you're thinking of London on Wheels, maybe.
Yeah.
Not that one. There's
Oh.
another one that's called Mortal
Engines?
Engine something.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, not that one. It's something else. It's called Mortal Instruments something. You're thinking of Mortal
City of
Engine.
Bones.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, Mason.
Okay.
But there was a number of them
I
happening
remember.
all at
Sure.
once. There
Yep.
was 2 Divergent movies apparently. I like even like the Maze Runner. Like that did well though, didn't it? That finished up. So yeah, I think that I've seen I Am Number 4. I saw it at cinemas. I remember thinking it was okay.
Isn't it wild, the cast list of the Hunger Games when you think about it?
Yeah,
Like there's one movie, it's got Jennifer Lawrence and it's got
someone else.
a bunch of other people.
It's got a 3rd or 4th person.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember all of that.
I can't remember a single other person.
Julia, what's her
Julianne
name?
Moore is in one of them,
Moore,
yeah.
yeah.
Got bloody
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright. Is Jeffrey Wright in those?
Yeah, he's in those
He
movies.
is.
Lenny Kravitz.
Wesley Bentley.
Wezzo Bento.
Mm-hmm.
Wezzo Bento box.
That's right. Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks, Stanley Tucci, Donald Sutherland. Wow. Yeah.
He's still alive? He is, isn't
He is, yeah.
Incredible. Mason, what's
I
next?
said with absolute confidence.
Yeah.
But not knowing. Here's one more email. This is from Connor.
Connor.
Hey, you crazy mates. My name's Connor, and I've been a fan since I was in elementary school in 2014, and now I'm in college. You've helped me through so much, including losing my grandpa and my sister, as well as choosing to follow my love for movies in my academic studies.
Damn, man, that sucks.
I know,
Not
right?
the third thing, but no, sorry to hear that.
Studies is good. Sorry for the downer, but I just wanted to say how grateful I was that you two exist. Also, just to be cheeky, I was wondering if I could be the official Oklahoman of the pod.
Absolutely.
I mean, there might be another one, but you've overtaken.
Oklahoma something musical.
Here's some fan art I made while bored in my class.
Let's go.
Now, what I like about these is each of us gets a normal one and a caricature one.
Yeah.
I think you're going to like your caricature one real good.
Okay.
Here's me normal.
You look normal.
Pretty normal there. Pretty normal. There's me. I'm all beard. I'm all beard, this guy.
That still looks like you.
It looks a lot like me. I'm all sad and beard and I got rigged teeth.
What's he drawn on? What kind of paper is that? Is it a papyrus?
Looks like a papyrus.
Interesting.
It's probably busted in the Egyptian studies room and he's drawn all that papyrus. And I say, good. It's only going to waste.
Yeah, exactly.
And here's you normal.
That's
Here's
me
you
normal. Looking
normal,
good.
Raised
Looking good,
eyebrow, looking normal. And there's you cartoon you. There's cartoon you.
I look terrible in that one,
No, I
Mason.
think
That's
you
what I
look
appreciate
great.
that. He's got all the odd proportions of me.
I think a good caricature emphasizes all your insecurities.
That is true. And then nailed all of that.
I've nailed that.
Yeah. My puffy face.
right.
You know what
One of your eyebrows is
My eyes is
physically always higher than
You know
the
what I
other
don't like about my facial hair at the moment,
What's
Mason?
that?
I used to have a black beard. Black beard.
Yes.
But now it's like grey. So
Like
from a
grey
distance,
beard.
like grey beard. But the mustache is dark. So it looks like I've just grown a mustache.
You deliberately
But
grown
I'm
a
not
mustache.
doing that. But that's just how I look now.
That's true.
What do I do?
You should grey out your mustache.
I can't. It's taking too long. It's taking too long, Mason.
What do you mean?
This part. It's taking too long to grey.
No. Oh no, I'm saying
I
you
dye it.
You dye it grey.
Wouldn't I dye the rest of it? The
Nope.
other color? Okay.
Nope. That's right.
Grey out your mustache.
Or you could be Mr. Personality and have like a blue beard or something.
Fuck that. No maintenance, Mason. No excess maintenance.
That's what they call me, no maintenance Mason. As a landlord, that's what they call me, no maintenance Mason. I don't know why. Probably because I'm so low maintenance.
Yeah, I would say so. You
Yeah,
just
it's all my tenants call me no maintenance Mason.
kicking back. Mm-hmm. This is from Nathan, who says, I've seen you guys cover Hulk. I was wondering your opinions on the film Chopper with Eric Bana. I only recently just watched it for the first time. Any thoughts on this movie? #Weekly Planet Pod. It's a classic Australian gangster movie.
Yeah. It's interesting. Andrew Dominic, who directed that, went on to this Blonde, which is the Marilyn Monroe movie with Ana de Armas that nobody likes.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
No, but apparently it's atrocious.
Apparently it's atrocious and people are like, this is gross.
Yeah.
And I sort of like the Australian underworld is kind of gross,
Yes,
which is
certainly.
where Chopper is from. And I don't know. I don't know what happened there in the interim.
And he also did the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford,
That is
which
true.
is very good. Killing Them Softly is apparently good. Yeah. Oh, he directed some Mindhunter episodes.
Right.
There you go.
I don't know. I'll have to watch it and figure it out for myself.
He
But I
hasn't
don't
directed
know.
much, though. Like, he takes his time on things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was 10 years between Killing Them Softly and then Blonde in 2012. But, of course, he did some movies in between. Wow, man.
But Chopper's a classic of the genre.
It is. And Neville Bartos, etc.
Yes,
Various
sure.
memes that
Neville
you'll know.
Bartos, etc. That's exactly
you also,
right.
there's an Australian comedian whose name's Ronnie something, I think, who does
A parody of that
A parody,
version of Chopper?
but he's done it every year since probably 2002 when
His
this
name
movie
is.
came out.
He was on the Ronnie Johns half
Yes.
hour. So the performer's name is.
Matt Chopper.
It's not Matt Chopper. I'll not.
Anyways,
remember.
he does that.
Uh-huh.
And I think he seems to be having a good time, or he's just trapped in this thing that he did
Maybe.
in passing. But it seems he sells out still. But yeah, the
Heath
real
Franklin.
Heath Franklin, yeah. But the real Chopper is dead.
He is dead. It's true.
So there you go.
Yeah. So if you want to make your own comedy character about him, there's nothing you can do.
Nope. He didn't even mind this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember about that guy. He said about the guy who impersonated the Chopper, who does fake Chopper.
Start
for
this
the
whole
Comedy
sentence
Fest.
again. Who are you talking about?
The real Chopper Reed.
Yes.
Thought the guy who did the fake Chopper Reed, he said he does a very good impersonation of Eric Bana doing
Yes,
an impersonation of me. Because
Yeah,
it's
right.
obviously an exaggerated version, twice removed. Anyway, is that everything?
That's the whole show, folks.
That's cool.
Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for getting to this point after the the debacle, the restaurant debacle.
No, there will be no restaurant debacles. It will be all smooth sailing.
Okay.
Mason.
Thanks, everybody, for telling your friends about the podcast, because that is how we get new listeners. Maybe don't tell your wife, or maybe ease them in with
an episode of thing that they like. We could like, what's a movie? Does your wife like The Abyss? We record an episode for The Abyss. Also, I just want to point out, I bring up the movie Backdraft in that and how it's got an amazing practical set. And then there was released a Corridor Crew video where they talk specifically about Backdraft and whatever and all the pyrotechnics. And I'm like, God damn it. People are going to think that I watched that video and then went, I remember Backdraft. But I've been watching Backdraft since the 90s because my dad is a firefighter, was like, this fucking sucks.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, this is bullshit. No, he actually thought it was hilarious.
Why is that?
Because it's all like dumb.
Oh, like the drama of it, or the technical aspects
all of it.
of
Technical
it?
aspect of it.
Interesting.
The way that the way that these guys go down, like all the time, just get this bit, just like die to fires. It's like you wouldn't do any of this shit,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a sequel.
What
recently.
I'd recommend is staying as far away as possible and then using a hose on it.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
My brother's like, you don't go into a fucking house fire if you don't have to. You just let it burn out.
Sure.
You don't even go. He said. My brother's also a firefighter.
You call in sick?
Yeah.
I've been doing it for years.
Yeah. Never even seen a fire.
That's right. I'm actually afraid of fire.
I've got an electric stove. I won't even use a gas stove. Anyway, Mason, what were you saying?
I was saying thank you to everybody who leaves a 5-star review on your podcast catcher of choice.
Yeah.
Because that
that's
helps.
right.
It does some algorithm thing, I think.
Emily Joy has actually left us 5 stars, who says, best Twilight Saga podcast. A friend turned me on to this Twilight movie review podcast and I've been really enjoying it. I feel like Twilight is not talked about enough these days. Not sure who these dudes are, but as long as they keep talking about the Twilight Saga, I'm definitely here to stay. Well, we talked a little bit about that today, so you're very welcome.
And we've done a series of videos on Twilight.
That's right.
Had a grand old time.
This is from JNitch44, who says, like having two good friends. I listen to these two talk
can you
about...
imagine?
Yeah. I listen to these two talk about anything. Thank God for that. Because we'd be in trouble. But it's better that it's about movies and comic book stuff. Thank you so much. Those were just done in app.
That's incredible.
And that's the beauty of podcasting.
As far as you know.
Is there another way to do it?
I don't know. Maybe they did it the hard way.
They could have done
In
it
which
through
case, two thanks.
A browser?
Maybe did it in a browser.
2 thanks? I mean, they're still doing a review, just one review. So that's...
I think they should get 2 thanks.
Okay, I don't think so.
Okay, right.
I don't think so.
And if they didn't listen but they gave a nice review anyway, thank and a half.
Thank and a half.
Thank and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, because that's the easiest way out, isn't it? You don't listen and you leave a review. But that's the least amount of work for the most amount of thank.
It's very true. I love least amount of work.
Anyway, folks, thank you so much. If you would like to get into contact with us, you can go to Weekly Planet Pod at Twitter, at Facebook, at Bandcamp. TikTok?
Yeah, Weekly Planet Twig Talk.
We're on the TikTok.
We're also got a Weekly Planet Clips channel. Just check them all out.
What are we bloody building clocks over there on TikTok?
No,
James?
I don't think
James,
we are.
is that what happens?
I don't think we are.
Themed
I can't
clocks?
veto, but I'm saying no, I don't think we are.
Okay, great.
doing that.
Yeah, no, I didn't think that either. I'm actually familiar with TikTok. We have some clips over there on TikTok if you want to track that down. If you want to follow some people on the socials, you can follow our great friend Rob Collings. He's at Raw Collings on Twitter.
Damn.
He is at The Weekly Planet on Twitter. You can follow me, Wikipedia Brown, on Twitter, and Nick Maso on Instagram. James is Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere. Aren't we very optimistic in saying follow us on Twitter?
Yep, I think so.
I followed some the other day. I'm like,
See where this goes.
see where this goes. That's exactly right.
I love it.
It's pretty good, isn't it? You
Yeah.
can also go to the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group. You can go to the Weekly Planet Pod Discord and Reddit.
All the elites are getting fired at Twitter. Now they're going to have to get real jobs like welding or whatever.
That's right. Learn to
No.
weld. Learn to weld, I say, a man who's never done a weld.
We can't
But
look-
it's
yeah.
better. It's better. I'm good at telling other people.
I agree. Yeah.
I've done some spot welds. I did some spot welds.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
No, it's good to tell people to weld when you can't lift your arms above your head.
That's right. It's
Good.
Well, we don't need to
No.
on account of the stakes.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfectly designed.
But if you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. You can chuck in a buck or an amount you will not miss. That is the key. Or if you're a big spender, you go to bigsandwich.co. Sign up for
A
$9
big
US
sandwich.
per month. You get all sorts of bonus podcasts and movie commentaries and early videos and ad-free podcast
He's right.
feed.
I don't like to admit it, but he's right.
That's right. So you got to admit it.
Spawn, yeah. Spawn commentary up
Spawn
there.
commentary, bit of fun there.
Bit of fun. Goes a bit off the rails towards the end.
Does it?
Yeah.
What did we do?
Something about a toilet. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
It gets silly.
does get very silly.
Yeah.
What a grand time. Anyway, but also if you want some T-shirts, you can go to tpublic.com. Just search for The Weekly Planet. Thank you to The Brute and The Basilisk and Aracham for all the musical themes. And then next week we're going to do another podcast.
Yes, well, it's the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know whether we're going to be doing...
I mean, it'll probably be
something.
It'll probably be us celebrating the win of the podcast awards. We're gonna.
Oh yeah,
we're
so we'll
gonna
probably
sweep
do
that.
40 to 50 minutes on that.
Yeah, and then
And
whatever.
then-
Then a Snake Eyes review.
The Snake Eyes review, and then we'll do the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Nice.
But that
If there's
also,
time. If there's
yeah,
time.
but that might be a YouTube video, but probably not. I'll probably just do a show on it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Oh, and there's going to be an Andor. Video
Oh
coming out
yeah,
soon.
Collins, we've seen the rest of Andor, everybody, and
It's not as much of a brag now that 11 episodes.
Nah,
and 12
man,
are
we
out
see
now.
it all. We watched it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So we had thoughts, of course.
yeah, if you like Andor, you should probably watch the final episode if you're 11 in,
Yeah.
and if you don't, you should watch it. It's good.
Yeah.
If you like, I hate Star Wars.
Like
you might
I
like
do
this.
mostly.
Yeah, you might like
Then
this anyway.
I was very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
What a heck of a show, in my opinion.
I agree.
IMHO.
There you go, Mason. Put your fidget spinner back or whatever.
Oh, all right.
Put it back in the case.
All right.
And I'll see you people all on the next episode of this show and various videos which are going up this week.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you real soon.
Goodbye.
Nah.